we can enjoy the freedoms, so we can enjoy camaraderie, so that we can continue to struggle in their names. And so we pour libation in order to do that. So can everybody stand up? Okay, libation is like a prayer. And so what we do is we use a plant to symbolize the earth from which we all have come and to which we must all return. And we pour water into the plant. The water is a symbol of purity. It's the purest substance on earth, and it sustains life. Can you get him enough water? And so we first will pour libation to the universal Mother, Father, Creator, known by many names, and we say, Ashe. Ashe is a Yoruba word which means, so let it be. In many other languages, it is said as Amin or Amen. We next pour libation to all our people's ancestors who sit at the feet of the universal Mother, Father, Creator, and we all say, Ashe. We now pour libation to all our ancestors who had the privilege of dying on African soil, and we all say, Ashe. We now pour libation to all our people's ancestors who died during the Middle Passage, who died in the slave ships, who refused to be enslaved and threw themselves overboard. For them we pour libation and we say, Ashe. And now we pour libation to those who made it across the Middle Passage and who died in the plantations, who died in this war zone that we call America today. For them we pour libation and we say, Ashe. Now if you will call out those in your direct bloodline and remember them and their direct influence on your life. And I will start off by naming my great-grandmother, Pearl Griffith. Ashe. 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 Ashe, Boy Griffith. Ashe, Cousin Stephen. Ashe. Pharaoh. Ashe. Eugene. Ashe. Pharaoh. Ashe. Ashe. And now we will pour libation to all those who have made sacrifices for the entire people. And I'll start off by calling out the name of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Ashe. 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 Malcolm X. Ashe. Ashe. Jesus Christ. Ashe. Ashe. Harriet Tubman. Ashe. 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 Nat Turner. Ashe. Huey P. Newton. Ashe. 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 Shaka Musa Barashango. Ashe. 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 The Move family. Ashe. Ashe. And now, the last three Ashes will be for all those who have not yet come, all those babies who still reside with the Creator, for whom we struggle today, for those in the belly of the beast who cannot be with us in this presence right now, and for all Africans around the universe who are unnamed. And we say, Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Libation is done. Oh, I'm sorry, keep standing. I should have said that initially. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now we'll recite the African Pledge. African Pledge was derived by Sir Marcus Garvey. It's a pledge that we should all memorize. And if you could raise your right fist in the air, it's a symbol of your loyalty to the struggle. And repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to my people, the African race, the original man and woman of the earth, and the founders of civilization. I pledge to continue the struggle, which will help to bring my beloved brothers and sisters to total freedom. I pledge to study and discipline myself, mentally, physically, and spiritually, so that I may grow into a soldier for justice. Because my people need strong and intelligent warriors. I pledge to live my life standing tall for a person on his or her knees is not respected. And if I am challenged, I must say that I will not surrender my position nor my dignity, but instead we shall endure until the final victory is won. Ashe. Now you can sit. How's everybody doing tonight? Good, good. In the Soul Survivors Nation, when we say how the Africans feel, we have you respond, the spirit is strong, definitely strong. Because African people, we're spiritual people. And we understand that life is not contained within flesh and bone. We understand that the struggle we are engaging in is not a struggle of flesh and bone. That's even stated in the Bible. And so, when we say how the Africans feel, you reply loud and strong. The spirit is strong, definitely strong. And so we're going to try it out real quick. How the Africans feel. How the Africans feel. Yeah, the spirit sounds definitely strong. If anybody, if you could you please come closer to the front and fill up the front rows so, we can present. Okay. We all African people. We don't got to be scared of each other. It's okay. Yeah, we was tight on the ship, right? 1 foot by 6 feet. It also helps with people with families because when people, they might bring their children and things because they want their children to get this too. It's best if you're brought up within this culture instead of being brainwashed and then trying to reverse it later. So some people try to bring their children up through this, and it's easier for them to find seating if we have whole rows that are available. So if you could just get closer, and that would be greatly appreciated. For everybody who doesn't know, my name is Tekhen. I will be your MC for tonight. And I'm also the Minister of Defense for the Soul Survivors Nation. The Soul Survivors Nation is an organization that is committed to grassroots and community development. And so we have different fronts on which we battle the spirit that's killing our children, the spirit of apathy, the spirit of rage, of anger that leads our people to kill each other, to lead our people to join gangs who are not for anybody's good. And so we do that on several different fronts. And one way we do that is by bringing lectures to the people through Reality Speaks. And thank you. And if you heard on Sister Nzinga's show this morning, Dick Gregory spoke about Johns Hopkins University and how it's located right in the middle of Baltimore, and they have cutting-edge medical technology research going on at Johns Hopkins University. However, Baltimore still manages to be, if I'm not mistaken, you correct me if I'm wrong, number 3 in STDs in the nation. So how can we be number 3 in the nation with STDs? However, we are the home of the leading medical research facility. The only way it could be possible, Dick Gregory said, is if they're creating them. If they are contributing to the problem. Because if they were contributing to the solution, then we would be seeing results going in a positive direction. We have another event coming up. If I can find the information for it. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Brother Dan, would you like to announce this? Or? Okay. Soul Survivors Nation presents Hurricane Katrina 2006. It's a documentary of Katrina's aftermath as of July 2006. So that's just 5 months ago. So we'll be including footage of the disaster zone in New Orleans, testimony from a survivor, someone who actually went through it. We'll be speaking. Leon Waters is his name. It's going to be hard-hitting Darren Muhammad speaking on the terror. Now, if anybody's ever heard Darren Muhammad speak, this man comes with his research done, comes with his homework done. The numbers are already pre-calculated. Everything is already in its right space. He's like, he comes up here and he's like, okay, there are 20% of the Africans who were involved in here were called for emergency evacuation beforehand. I mean, the man has his research done, and we need scholars like that, and we have to support our scholars who come to us with that information, because a lot of us just don't have the time or are too busy otherwise to do the research ourselves. Okay, 7:12. Dr. Africa is on his way to the stage, and so it'll be a few more minutes. If anybody wants to discuss about anything that we heard on the radio, it's going to be about 2 minutes. About anything that was on the radio this morning, or anything that they may have seen on the flyer for this event, or maybe for the next event about Katrina, you're more than welcome to engage in some dialogue here, because we're not just here to listen to one man speak to us. Solutions are gathered when we speak to each other, when we dialogue. If 2 or 3 gather, then that's where God is, but not if they gather and don't talk to each other, because that's like 3 individuals, right? They have to gather and come together as one. So, who has some input? Nobody? We're about 100 individuals right now. WEAA 88.9, Morgan State University's radio station. You can tell them. This is Sister Nzinga. She is the host of the Just You and Me two-way talk radio station.
Give thanks. Actually, I am a co-host. My mentor and teacher is Dr. Gossie Harold Hudson. He's sitting in the back with his books. This man is a brilliant historian. That's right. And I'm honored and privileged and considered God sent that I was put in the space with Dr. Hudson for him teaching me what I know. What happened this morning was the Baba Dick Gregory was on our program for an hour. And that doesn't happen in Radio Land too much, where you have a personality or person such as Baba Dick Gregory dialoguing with our community. Not only dialoguing, but we came up with some viable solutions. And everyone in this room can take part in the solution. And if you don't mind, can I tell you how? After you brush your teeth tonight, look in the mirror and say, have I done everything I could do? The brother just said there are different arenas for this struggle that we're in. All you have to do is choose one. And there's room for you there, be it the school, medicine, whatever. I was watching a documentary yesterday, and I'm going to be really quick, with Muhammad Ali. And he talked about the black ice cream being on the bottom, you know, black ball being negative. Everything associated with black is negative, basically. But the solution lies in each of us to change our own mind, and when we change our own mind, we change the world. So that's just the one solution that all of us can participate in a deep way. Baba? A deep way.
All right, everybody. Without further ado, we're going to get this thing started. And it is my pleasure to bring up a very experienced holistic doctor who has dedicated his life to teaching our people how to keep themselves healthy, because we're in bad shape if we depend on our enemy to fix us up when we're sick, to fix us up when we have some kind of condition. And so he teaches us how to take care of ourselves, because when you're on war, people get injured. And so without further ado, I'd like to present to you Dr. Laia O. Africa.
Good evening, my brothers and sisters. It's a pleasure to be here, and of course all of us who attempted to get here today, some of us didn't make it because some other obstacles took us off this path. So I guess we're some of the lucky ones that got here. None of you were chased here by the Klan, I don't think. So we're here to discuss health and also discuss the mental part of it and the spiritual part of it, not just health generally like you usually hear it spoken about. We're really not concerned about what the health of the Japanese are and the Mexicans are and all those other people are. We're concerned about our health. We have a problem in our village. Our problem starts, of course, with the highest mental illness rate of any race in America. We are just plain crazy. It's not that Leroy's lazy and laying around and don't want to get a job, and Leroy's depressed. So we have to label things correctly so we can get out of this problem in the correct manner. Information means nothing if it's not in the power of a righteous person. You can give a fool information too, but that's not going to go anywhere. So we got to have our brain in the right shape to receive the information and understand that it's no accident that we are the sickest people in America, that we have the highest diabetes rate of any race in America. And when you throw that whole thing about slavery out of the equation, then you don't know what's going on. This was set up by our diet that was introduced to us during colonialism and slavery. That's why we were put on this high-fat and high-starch diet from the beginning. Slavery was not driven by steak. It was driven by fats, processed fat. We didn't call it fat back and fat bacon. And we put the fat in greens because we were taught to eat this fat because fat produced the most labor out of us. So we're still on a high-fat diet today and a high-processed starch diet today, which according to the slave journals is the most devastating diet to be on. It causes bone deformities, women with knock knees, birthing problems. And we have to be mindful that that connection to slavery is still with us because we're still eating the same way. We're still eating the same way, and we're still getting the same diseases that we got during that period of time. Be mindful that food is sold to us by military people. We were brought here by military people. And we have to understand that we're being attacked by military people. The people that control the board of Ralston Purina and Monsanto and Toyota are retired generals. And they don't stop being generals because they're out of the military. Despite what you may think, Colin Powell is still in the military. He's still following orders. So we are being approached that way with military logic, which is based on misdirection and deception. Misdirection and deception. That's how everything is sold to us. McDonald's sells us food based on emotions, not on nutrition. That's why you don't know anything about calcium, magnesium, and vitamins and minerals. That's the business that McDonald's in. You should have an understanding of nutrition since that's McDonald's business. But McDonald's sells things based on emotions. It's a misdirection and deception. And that's how we approach each other militarily. That's how we manage our relationships militarily. Somebody is the slave and somebody is the master. Some of us are proud about that. We don't want visas, we want MasterCards. That's why we still have master bedrooms in our house today. And proud to say, that's my master bedroom. Because we're still connected to that diet and the behavior that's destroying us. We say stupid things that make sense to other stupid people that happen to be your stupid relatives. One of those things is soy milk. Everybody hears about it. Rice milk. I ain't never seen no titties on a soybean. There's no such thing as soy milk. It's soy juice. It's rice juice. But see, this kind of misdirection and deception, you think you're getting something beneficial because it came out of a titty. See, it's emotional they having you attached to this food. You say some stupid things. As far as I know, chicken have chests. There ain't no such thing as chicken titties. It ain't no chicken breasts. You buying chicken chests. But when you've been miseducated so skillfully, one ignorance comes in and then another one comes in, and it becomes very easy for you to be in the stupid condition that you're in. Intelligence rules the world. Ignorance carries the burden. Marcus Garvey. So we have to let loose some of this ignorance about what's going on here. We have been taught to eat by someone who knows nothing about food. Be aware of that. They treat the food the same way they treat the things they ate before they start eating apples. They gutted out the pig, they gutted out the horse, they gutted out the dog, and you present an apple to them, what they're going to do? Gut it out. They're going to take the core out and throw it away. Treat it like it's an animal. That's what they're going to do. And that's what you do. You gut out the apple like it's some wild animal, a deer or horse or something. You're throwing away the fiber. If you eat the apple, eat the core. I know your master didn't tell you that. But I'm telling you that you're throwing away the fiber. That's what you want. Eat the core of the apple. Who taught you how to eat this food? Who has the knife the closest to the plate of all races? Your master do. You have to understand that eating the way we eat is no accident. If you want to manipulate the consciousness of a people, the best food to put them on is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates cause mood swings, irritability. You call one of those carbohydrates sugar. But if you want to manipulate people, the food that's more responsible for your mood and state of consciousness is carbohydrates. Put them on starch. Put a husband and wife on starch, sugar, ice cream, all kind of carbohydrates. They're going to irritate each other. And a relationship is going to fall apart, and they're going to walk away from each other saying, honey, you sure treat me bad. Sweetie, what happened to us? Sugar happened to you. That's right, honey. That's what happened to me. Walk away addicted as you were when you got in it. This sugar, without it, there would be no junk foods. Read the label. Sugars in Pringles, sugars in mustard, sugars in mayonnaise, sugars in ketchup, sugar sprayed on French fries, sugars in tobacco, sugars. Without sugar, there would be no junk foods. So we got to be aware that we're being attacked through our stomachs. Something should tell you, it must be something wrong with this food because my teeth are rotting out. Most of y'all are teethless, don't have any. By the time you get 13 or so, you done lost most of your teethers. So if the food is that much devastating to you already, what's it doing to you when it later in life occurs? Some kind of way, we have lost our way. We have lost our ability to find out what is good for us and what is bad for us. We know that food is attached to culture. We know that you cannot be healthy and cultureless. You cannot be free and cultureless. We know the Asians come over here, the Chinese come. We know they open up a produce market and send for their food. They don't care if all the food on the plate's organic. If they Chinese can't see China on the plate, they don't eat. You know they open up a produce. You know they send for their own food. You call it Chinese food. You call it Italian food. You call it after the culture. Food is attached to culture. It's not that you off your diet and you're sick. It's you off your culture. Your culture attaches you to food. Your culture makes you aware of where you belong in life and how far you got to go and where you came from. It helps you navigate through your problems in life. If you don't understand how to solve your economic problems, you read your history. Your history is your source of information. Some ancestors figured this thing out a long time ago. History should help you define yourself and give you solution to your problems. It's not about dates and all of that stuff. That's European history. You got to have this history around you. You bring some young boys in and try to play some basketball or some football, you got to bring some historians around. Somebody know the game, the history. You call them a coach. That's the historian. That's the information they need to navigate through this game. You understand what I'm saying here? You cannot walk in a European classroom. History, chemistry, biology, the first thing you got to read is history. Newton's law. You got to read the history first. They got to anchor you in this thing, and they got to connect you to history, because history is culture, food is culture, dancing is culture, music is culture, dressing is culture. And when you sit down to eat with Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, you don't have nothing on the plate that resembles you or look like you. Maybe it looks like your mind, white rice, white grits, but it don't look like you. I don't know what to say. I'm the one who goes around to the schools in England, Barbados, St. Vincent, St. Croix. I'm the one who sees your children. I'm the one who sees this problem, the sex problems they're having in schools, the masturbation problems they're having in school. And some of y'all look kind of handy out there now. We're losing this thing. You give the child some sugar in the morning, that makes them hyper. They send them to school, they put them on Ritalin. The sugar is driving the whole special education industry. Don't you get it? Because we're emotionally attached to this food. It's white. It has to be right. White rice, white flour, white grits, white sugar, white salt. If OJ was here, I would say something else. We're attached to this white. We have to go back to eating colored food because we colored people. Got it? And you're not going to walk away from McDonald's as easy. McDonald's going to kick some ass before he lets you go. You're not going to take that money out of that man's hand that easy. You got to fight for your life. They're not going to give up your mouth. A fork and a spoon in the hands of an ignorant person is a damn weapon. They're not going to give up your mouth that easy. We are everybody's paycheck. If you come to America and you want to make some money, open up a store in the black community. You're everybody's paycheck. You think the Koreans going to let go of all them nails that quick? No. The first thing we have to do is divorce you from your culture. Take it out of the educational system. Take the drum out the classroom. Take it out. Don't let anyone who knows something about history from a black perspective open their mouth. Because you're still being taught that Columbus discovered America and discovered Africa. Because there's no one black in that classroom teaching you anything. There's some chocolate-covered white people in there. Professional Negroes, certified. But you got to fight for your life for yourself. The first attack you have to make and victory you have to make is over that plate in front of you. That's your first weapon. That's your first march to freedom, because you can't be free and constipated. All you're going to do is kill the people behind you from farting. You got to stop being constipated and following these constipated leaders. They can't even lead you to the bathroom. They constipated. Roll of toilet paper lasts them about a week. That's right. Turd come out to ask a senior citizen looking for a nursing home. We need health to see a healthy solution. We didn't come over here sick. We didn't come over here with arthritis. We didn't come over here with cavities. We didn't come over here with fibroid tumors. We didn't come over here with prostate disease. We didn't come over here with Leroy looking for Harry. We did not come over here like that. Somebody introduced you to this. This is their food. History will prove me correctly. They brought us to the Caribbean to make white sugar for them. That is their food. You got to draw a line. This is mine, this is theirs. But some of us are too afraid to do that. We figure we'll lose our pension. And it ain't no pension anyway. We're afraid to be free. That's what it is. We're totally afraid. Ask Harriet Tubman. She had to pull a gun on these Negroes, and they were in chains. They were in chains. She had to pull a gun on them. So I don't expect any of you out here to give up sugar or salt or milk. I don't expect it at all. I have no hope for you whatsoever. I'm telling you. None. You gone. You're totally gone. What keeps me focused is to always remember that black people are still buying perfume, scented toilet paper, and their ass can't smell it. That keeps me focused. You can't get no more stupid than that. We have to be about presenting an example for the children so they can define a solution to this problem, because our brain's gone, totally gone. We have to give them the conditions so they can solve this problem. Because because this is no problem to them. Revolutions are led by young people. That's what they run. Young people run this thing. Science is run by young people. When Darwin did his best work, Einstein did his best work, he was in his 20s. Science is run by young people. History is run by young people. And so we have to present them with the environment so they can solve this problem, because your brain's gone. It's totally gone. There's nothing to download. Am I finished? Oh yeah, great. Let me stop. I don't need to talk anymore. I can stop in a minute. So, what I'm here to do is introduce Dick Gregory. I met Dick Gregory, he probably doesn't remember, in Atlanta. And I used to have a little practice and all that sort of stuff. And I saw him in a downtown in some place, and he was walking around. I said, "Hey man, what you doing?" And he said, "I'm looking for some popcorn for my wife." I said, "Okay, let me walk around with you." So we walked around for about a half an hour together looking for this popcorn. Then some people recognized him and say, "Dick Gregory!" And they came swamping on him like a bunch of buzzards, you know. So I just backed up off. I said, "I'll see you later, man." But I was walking with him while we were looking for this popcorn. He said, "You a vegetarian?" I hadn't said nothing to him. I said, "Yeah." He said, "You've been a vegetarian about 8 or 9 years." I said, "Yes, right." I didn't know. I didn't say anything to him. He told me that. And I just said, "Okay." And I just walked around him while he was looking for popcorn, and that was the last time I saw him. Then he called me up one day and said, "Hey, why don't we write a book together? You do that black thing, and I do this other thing. We got him." I said, "Okay, man, let's do that." So I flew to California, sat down with him. We were working on this book. And Stevie Wonder called, and Andrew Young called, and this one called. I said, "Damn, it's never going to get done." He said, "Well, you ain't doing that. Why don't you be in this movie?" I said, "A movie? Something called The Black Panthers?" About the Black Panthers? I said, "No, I came out here to write a book." I said, "I'll catch you another time." So he was in D.C. I flew up to D.C. I said, "Ready to work on this book?" He said, "Yeah." So we sat down and worked on the book. Next thing I know, this person called, Jocelyn, whatever name called, that one person. I said, "We ain't gonna never get nothing done here." We've been working on this book for well over 10, 15 years now. But his dedication to what we are about has been the most powerful thing about Brother, to me. Brother Gregory is dedicated. During the 60s or so, he even walked out to try to calm down some Negroes with bad food stamps. He got shot trying to calm down some black folks. I said, "Man, I run first." He walking out there calming them down, bullets flying all over the place. That's how dedicated the man is. And that's what we need. We need 100 of Dick Gregory's. But we have been blessed with one. And that's the main thing. We got one, and that's all we need. That's all we need, and we're blessed with this one. And anytime you're around him, there's always opportunity to learn something. I've never been around him and didn't learn something. He's an athlete. He puts his money where his mouth is. He marched with Martin Luther King. He's been with Malcolm. He's there. Whenever somebody says they're going to help black people, he's there. That's what he's about. So when I have opportunity to introduce him, I'm there. There's no question about it. So I don't want you to give him no flowers before he dies or anything, because he's a vegetarian, he's going to eat them. I just want you to open up your heart and love him the way I do. So without further accord, as they say, Brother Dick Gregory. Oh, thank you. Very good.
Thank you.
Good.
It won't.
That's what I'm saying. If it.
That's good. Okay, fine. Let me first say we thank and praise God that we all made it here safely today. And I pray to God that your return and my return will be equally as safe. I'll probably be mentioning God a couple of times tonight, but when y'all hear me say God, I'm not talking about them isms and osms and that crazy stuff that a lot of people be into that don't work. God is very real. That's right. And God don't have to be validated by you. I called a friend of mine that just bought him a $7 million house. And I said, Jeff, how you doing, baby? He said, I woke up this morning. I said, nigga, people going to electric chair woke up this morning. You can't find a better reason for waking up than you woke up. And you should stay asleep. Somewhere when you stop and think about the games, I was talking to some Christian group in Budapest not too long ago, and I told them, I really don't know about you white folks over here, but I have probably one of the best research teams on the market, and but I do know about America, and so what y'all need to do is come check out America. And I can tell you one thing about America. No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to fix it right. Thank you. I was just seeing if you was paying attention. And I said, one of the beautiful things about America is it's all there. It's just raw. And I just want to say to you Christians over here on the other side of the water, because I have never studied, you're a researcher, but if you come over to America and check out the penitentiary and the penal system, there are no atheists on death row. So you Christians and Muslims and whatever, you live with that. What is it about someone that don't believe in God that don't kill? Huh? I mean, when I was a little boy growing up, and they talking about World War II, they said there are no atheists in the foxholes. You know, y'all ever heard that statement? Because they would go to jail and be killed before they kill somebody. That's right. So maybe most of the Christians in this country need to study atheists. Not that you won't believe in God, but at least, you know. So somewhere, when you stop and think about money is not power, education is not power, information is power. And this is the beautiful thing about what's happening here tonight. It's about information. Brother Africa had one of the foremost of minds when it comes to herbs and kindness on the planet. And so we need to say first, let me say thanks to those who's responsible for this evening. My job's very easy. My job easy. All I have to do is just produce a body. But a whole lot of work went into making this happen. Second, let me say to the folks that do the invisible part, the part that we don't see. The mic didn't just jump up. That's right. The room just didn't open itself. The heat didn't just show up. And unbeknown to most of us who it is, when we leave here, somebody will clean up in here after we're gone. So for all those folks that do the physical part, we say thank you. God bless you. And thirdly, to those of you, I've looked around, ain't no homeless people in here. And so for those of you who interrupted your schedule to be here like I did, I had something to do, so I didn't come because I had nothing to do. Most of you here because you interrupted your schedule. And had you not made that decision, the rest of it wouldn't have mattered. So to you and you and you and you, we say thank you and bless you. And this thing is moving fast now. And so those of you that ain't ready for the swiftness, I say have fun and have fun quick, because recess just about over. And there is nobody in this country in any darkness no more than black folks. It's unreal to think you come over here on the boat with the boy and don't know him. Huh? Think you cute. Huh? Walk around talking about the melanin this, and white folks ain't got no melanin, but you do know drugs and alcohol mess up your melanin. That's right. And then don't get upset over this white boy. Why should he tell you the truth no more than Hitler and them Nazis would be honest with the Jews? That's right. But you was born with a God-given intelligence that make you see through the trick. Right. If you're not hateful. Yes. Huh? I can't believe I live in a country where you get sick and you try all kind of prescription medicine that have side effects. Right. But love, there are no negative side effects with love. Huh? 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 There are no negative side effects with kindness and niceness. Black men, they mess your head up. They got you believing being polite and kind, you're a punk. Somewhere. And we made it this far. I really didn't start worrying about black folks till Clinton. If there could be anybody on the planet more evil than the devil, it's Clinton. That's right. But you got niggas think he's some kind of God. Right. All the drugs that come in the country comes through Mena, Arkansas, and he controls it. That's right. Huh? Huh? He put 1.5 million black men in jail under his watch. Huh? They didn't put that many in jail in South Africa. That's right. Huh? He's the one that ordered Ron Brown to be killed, because if Ron would have made it back off that trip, he was going to tell it all, because he had already been subpoenaed. Now, I don't want y'all that didn't know to get hip all at once. And our big problem with our children is they was raised by ignorance, us. Huh? And then we don't want to admit that my problem is a white racist system. That's right. I go to conferences all over in America. Black folks, and racism ain't even on the program. That's right. Huh? Well, I'll be honest with you, I blame everything on white folks when I wake up in the morning. I wake up, get out of bed, and say, you did it. My wife said, did what? I don't know. I know they did something while I sleep. Huh? If I woke up this morning with a hemorrhoid, I say, white folk did it. But you blame all the stuff on you. If our young folks would just learn good English. You got a white boy, governor of California, can't even pronounce the state. Huh? And you think your problem is English? If you look at white folks' stats, black with a PhD is 85 times more likely to get turned down the first time they get a home mortgage than a white boy that dropped out of high school. But there's a God that keeps giving you messages. You know, there's a lot of people in here taping, so if y'all got babies that want to talk, that's cool, they should, but take them outside. I mean, think about this. You have a that should hear stuff, but you can't hear it if you're full of hatred and meanness and ornery. But if you pure, you heard something last month. You ain't never turned on TV, turned on the radio, pick up the paper and said, there's a bad shipment of cocaine that came in, poison, throw it away. You never seen somebody say, bulletin, Budweiser admitted that 10 million bottles of Budweiser accidentally had arsenic put in it. You drink it, you die. Throw it away. You never seen that? Turn on TV and they say, organic spinach, if you have it, throw it away, it will kill you. Spinach? There's nothing ever been wrong with cocaine? Just spinach? Organic spinach? Then they say, throw it away. Oh, no, I'm taking mine back to Safeway. And then right after that, then they alerted everybody to organic carrot juice. Then after that, lettuce. We'll say, well, I mean, is there a bad pork chop out here anywhere? You see, one day we got to forget about white supremacy. It's the only thing you got to worry about. Racism, sexism, prejudice. No, it's white supremacy. And most white folk don't even understand that. White supremacy was at its best 2 months ago, really messed up my marriage. A bunch of drunken, thug, PhD white folks met in Budapest with some white hoes with PhDs. And when they came out the meeting, they said, Pluto do not exist. And nobody checked it out. I didn't see niggas outside looking up in the sky and said, what? Not one news media, radio, TV said, what do you base it on? We're not saying you're not true, but what do you base it on? That's right. You don't have to base it on nothing with white supremacy. Right. Pluto was here for white folk, black folks, Indian, Chinese, anybody. And just one swoop, Pluto don't exist. And I called my wife, I've been married 47 years, I called my wife, I said, baby, you're so nice and kind, I hate to have to break this to you, but I'm filing for a divorce tomorrow. She said, why? I said, well, I just found out Pluto don't exist, and you know, I married you because you had Pluto rising. And one day when you understand with that little weak power you got, because you control your house or boss some woman or a child, ain't a damn thing none of you sitting here could do when that redneck decided Pluto don't exist. Huh? It's a game. And all you got to do is just listen, be still, be quiet. They got all this new technical, scientific stuff. Well, it's cool if you understand it. If you don't understand it, you should. That's why you should not be alone. You should have little clubs and stuff you join where somebody know. You don't have to know it. This sister over here cook good sweet potato pie. This sister over here cook good greens. You don't have to know when you got a group. So somewhere, say, well, look here, I don't, you know how many niggas don't know what stem cell is? And they talk about it every day. You don't have to know that, ain't nothing but a trick. But at least you should have the type of setting where somebody in the group can explain to you what stem cell is. So when your children come and say, Mommy, Dad, what's stem cell? If you're going to live here, then you must look for the crack in the fabric. They got this new pill out, this wonder pill. You can just pop it and you can get pregnant. I hate to talk about pregnancy because white folks that mess up y'all's mind. They run around talking about babies, having babies, and you niggas fall right into that. Children having children. Well, y'all know anything about Jesus Christ and Mary? God impregnated her at 13 years old. Huh? And then God had a hell of a time with Joseph because Joseph wasn't really buying into it. If y'all read that stuff right, Joseph wasn't buying into none of that. $13 years old. They had to send some wise men to talk to Joseph to explain that to him. I wonder what would have happened had he not listened. But they brought, you know, the wise men, they brought all kind of riches. You know, the camels was full. You'd be surprised how quick you can convince a nigga when you bring gifts. So my thing is, if God, the boss, and I don't have no problem believing in God, can impregnate a 13-year-old, then don't tell me I can't knock up a 14-year-old. I'm following God with a year's grace. Huh? So now they got all these pills you can pop. My mama's sister, 94 years old, popped them pills. Went over to Europe on a vacation, got with them white folks, and they tell the girl, let me tell you, you never had no children? No, never been married. Take these pills. And they work. She had twins, 94 years old. Live in Kenlock, Missouri. Press came in from all over the world to report it. First they had to give it a test because they didn't believe it. Healthy twins. So I said to my wife, I said, well, at least since she is kinfolks, I might as well go there and check them out just in case the press asks me about it. So I go. There's like 30 people sitting around the house waiting to see the twins. So I go, hey, Nellie, how you feel, baby? Say, I'm all right. Say, I just come by to see the babies. Oh, well, sit down. So I sit down. So I asked the other folks, how long y'all been sitting? They say, 3 hours. I said, what y'all here for? I said, we're waiting to see the twins. So she came back out and I said, these people been sitting here 3 hours to see the twins. How come we got to wait so long? She said, well, I'm waiting on them to cry so I can remember where I put them. Scientific data, huh? And you know, the same thing, when the planet one, we got the same mind you had then. It's just they got better ways of programming it. It ain't nothing but just thinking. Just not admitting, it's just thinking. And stop thinking somebody over here is living better than you, and that ain't even what it's about. Oh, so-and-so, they had a good college. Well, I live down the street from Harvard and MIT, and I got 10 brilliant children. What they don't tell you is Harvard and MIT have more suicides in 1 year than all the Big Ten schools have in 20. But they play them off like they are citadel of intellectuality, and they really ain't nothing but cesspools of filth. Huh? But once they bend your head over there and they determine the criteria, what goodness is, what pretty is, what ugly is, what love is. I went with a friend of mine the night before Halloween. We was looking for some costumes. Had this white friend of mine, rich old white boy. Loved me. So I said, man, I hate to interrupt your time, but this friend of mine got to get a costume for her son, so I'd like for you to go with me, and I want to show you something. So we said, sure, whatever you want me to do. So I showed him, I said, look at all these costumes. I mean, where rich folks go, all the costumes. Dracula, Wolfman, Hitler, Napoleon. So he said, what do you want me to see? I just want you to see that there's no faces y'all wear tomorrow that look like me. Huh? Hitler? Dracula? Huh? No Sidney Poitier? Huh? Now when you got 1 day of the year to look like anybody you want to look like, and none of you want to look like me, don't tell me you love me. Somewhere. So it's just be happy for who you are. If you ain't, that's your fault or your mama's fault because they didn't pump a bunch of ignorance into you, but you stuck with it. Huh? You got a bad job. Ain't no such thing as a good job. It get 32 below zero. You making below minimum wage. Here's a dude over here with 12 PhDs making $1,000 an hour. He gets just as cold or she gets just as cold as you going to that job. The people that run the world don't work. Queen Elizabeth ain't never had that. You got more intelligence in your baby finger than Prince Charles got in his whole body. The boy never worked. You know why? Because his mother never taught him, you got to get a job. Huh? My mama's told me that. I looked at her like she was a fool. Then she looked back like she's going to hurt me, and I went out there and got me a job. But you got to first stop thinking there's somebody over here who you don't know. It can be your brother, your sister. You ain't with them all the time. They doing better than you. Try checking them out. Boy, I got out here, I was catching hell when I first married my wife, but I didn't act like it. My brothers and them they said, well, we catching hell. I didn't tell them I was because it ain't their business. The problem I had with my wife, I tried to explain to her that fear and God do not occupy the same space. She was scared of debt. When we gonna pay Sears and Roebuck? You act like we got some money. We don't have no money, baby. And when I get money, Sears and Roebuck is not my first priority. They knew I wasn't gonna pay for that stuff when I got it. You know, on the back of the application, they said, who's gonna pay for this? I wrote your mama. I walked in the house 2 weeks later, I thought my old lady was just going crazy. She said, here's the letter. Here's the letter from Citizen Roebuck. It's here. It's here. Final notice. I said, what's wrong, baby? Final notice. Here it is. Final notice. Let me see it. Final notice. Final notice. Thank God we won't be hearing from them no more. My old stupid brother called me. He was the first black way up with Enron, big money. Millions. Told me how good he was doing. Then they got busted. He lost everything. I called him the other day and said, you know you're going to jail. He said, I didn't do nothing wrong. I said, look, they put them white folk in jail, nigga, you know you're going. He done lost everything, his house, his wife, when a nigga's dog run away. Called me 2 days ago. They about to repossess my car. What must I do? Don't park in front of the house. See, when you go through all them emotional changes, the universal God intelligence stop flowing. Huh? Them folks next door, they might be doing worse than you doing. Stop comparing yourself to anything but you. You know how special you are? Never before or after will there ever be another you. Huh? Huh? It didn't say if you're educated or got billions in it. Never before have there ever been one of you before or one after. Don't you know how special you are? So stop trying to compare yourself. Old cousin is St. Louis here. A deacon, really want to be a preacher, really want to be the big. He's a deacon. The preacher have a parakeet. So he went and bought him a parakeet. That nigga ain't never bought something that he didn't eat. I go by the house and he look all bad. And I said, what's wrong, man? You finally got a parakeet? Yeah, there's something wrong with my parakeet. I said, what do you mean? Here, let me bring him in here. And all this parakeet said, sex, sex, sex. So I said, what's wrong with that? The parakeet keeping it real. He said, but the preacher's parakeet says, prayer, let us pray. So I talked to the preacher and asked him this Saturday, could I bring my parakeet over there and let him hang out with his parakeet, and maybe my parakeet will get some culture. So Saturday he go by, ring the preacher's doorbell. Preacher come to the door with the parakeet. My cousin's parakeet say, sex, sex. And the preacher's parakeet said, turn out the lights. My prayers have been answered. Huh? See, you got to stop. You got to first sit and meditate. Huh? I remember I violated myself. I do 5 miles every day, walking. A friend of mine flew in town, Jim Kelly, said, hey, man, I'd like to see this trail you walk in. I said, yeah, but let's do it tomorrow. I just finished 5 miles earlier. He said, no, I got to leave town tonight. I said, well, let's do it this evening. And I normally don't do 10 miles. So I go out and I walked it with him. He loved it. So I'm home, you know, kind of tired. Huh?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry to disturb you. However, we have a very serious traffic problem in the parking lot. I'm going to name some cars, and these people, you need to move your cars. One silver Mercury, license plate number MVA215. One red Nissan van, license plate number 770M46. One silver Jeep, plate number 351M443. And one silver Lincoln, plate number 683M896. And this last one I'm going to name, your lights are on in your car. It's a white Lexus, plate number 8AH-V14. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. And so, when you just meditate and just think and move it to another level, so like I said, I went out and walked those 5 miles that evening. I'm tired, and I'm kind of laying down and never relax with the TV or the radio on. Because you ever get tired, you're laying down, and you're in that little, like, there's some kind of state, you're not sleeping, you're not up, you're just in between. And the radio, the TV's on, they say, bulletin, bulletin, civil rights icon, admit baby out of wedlock. I jump up, call my wife and say, Lil, don't have nothing to say to the press, I'm coming home, I can explain it. She said, oh, go on back to sleep, they're talking about Jesse. So when you just stop and slow up, and let the energy flow, the God energy. This brother is driving around 10 minutes to 12 in rural Mississippi doing 120 miles an hour. And this white sheriff, I don't know what kind of car he had, caught him, pulled him over. But my cousin, he cool, he don't panic over nothing. The sheriff walked up and said, what's your hurry? He said, what's your hurry? You caught me. He said, well, I got a serious problem. Today is my birthday, tonight at midnight, in about 10 minutes. My wife is throwing a birthday party. Got state troopers coming in, family members, at midnight. Now, in this rural area, if I write you a ticket, which I have to, I got to take you in. I can't let you go. But I've been a state trooper for 37 years. If you can just give me any logical reason why you're doing 120, I'll let you go. I know you can't, but I'm just trying to be fair to my wife. Cuz cool. He said, well, you see, 37 years ago, a white state trooper ran off with my black wife. And when I looked through the rearview mirror and saw you, I thought you was bringing her back. You don't have to be nasty, you don't have to be evil. Huh? Just let it flow. Check this out. These state troopers graduate from state trooper school. And the guy was honest with him. He said, now, you graduate today, but you're not a seasoned state trooper for about 5 to 8 years. You just graduated. And the worst incident is a simple traffic stop. You don't know if the guy can kill somebody or she can kill somebody. They're on the way to commit suicide or do anything. So be very cautious, nice, polite. But in case you all get out there this first week and run across a serious situation, just contain them and call the supervisor. He pulled a brother over. He asked him the usual thing. All right, you know the routine. Registration. And the brother cool. He got melanin. He know how smart he is. He said, well, I just want you to know when you look into the glove compartment, when I open it up, there's a fully loaded 45 automatic pistol. So I just don't want you to panic. And in the trunk of the car, there's 2 dead white men. So my man, he remembered. He got on the phone and called in. Murph, serious. There's a black man here, got a loaded pistol in the glove compartment and 2 dead folks in the trunk. What must I do? Say, just contain him. Don't mess with him. Just pull out your gun. Don't even let him get out the car. Make him put his hands on the steering wheel and sit there till we get there. And he did. About 8, 9 SWAT cars showed up. Snatched him out the car, handcuffed him, put the leg shackles around him. And he looked at my man, said, "Attaboy, Johnny, you did it right." So Murph, supervisor, opened up the glove compartment, ain't nothing in it. He go back, open up the trunk, nothing in it. He walked up to the brother and he said, "Man, maybe you can help me. I was told you had a loaded pistol in the glove compartment and 2 dead white men in the trunk. How do you explain that?" He said, "I guess he told you I was speeding too, right?" So when you think about how nice it is, why are you going to panic? The same intelligence that put the whole universe together is responsible for you. The day you was born, all the wisdom and knowledge that ever was, you brought with you. This civil rights movement is the greatest movement that ever happened in the history of the planet, including Jesus Christ. See, remember, Jesus, they killed him. They didn't mess with the disciples. This movement, they killed everything moving. Anybody that looked like they was going to be a friend of us, they wiped them out. Huh? Medgar Evers, huh? The 2 Kennedy boys, huh? They never stopped. Not to mention the ones they framed and put in jail and the ones they pretended was crazy and got them committed to mental hospitals. Huh? And yet we keep moving. Yeah? We keep moving. Huh? Somewhere. When you think about who you are, when you leave all that other mess alone. I've been married 47 years and love ain't got nothing to do with it. I got my old lady pregnant and married her, and she told me, "Nigga, if you ever leave me, I'll hurt you." Hurt will keep a brother home for a long time. And when you start making big money, there's another word that'll keep you home called half. And because of this civil rights movement, I don't misunderstand, don't think everybody in the movement know what I'm fixing to tell you, but it was the movement that opened me up. It ain't about love. I love you, baby. If I can't have you, ain't nobody gonna have you. It's about, can you be lovable? And then once you become lovable, I'm safe with you, and you safe with me. And black folks need to learn that quick, because the white racist system have made you so mean and bitter and ornery, and you ain't gonna do nothing to them, but you're gonna come home and take it out on me, the wife, the children, the whole, you know? And it really ain't your fault. Most of y'all got your attitudes passed down from your mom and dad, and they got it from that, they got it from that. I know my mama beat me because her mama beat her. Her mother beat her because her mother beat her. Her mother beat her, and you can trace it all the way back to slavery. The one thing that redneck nigger hating slave master hated is the same thing they hate today, a black man in America. Because of your genius, your brilliance, they reduce it down to your dick, and some of y'all go for it. They got you think you can do. It ain't that. It's this up here they scared of. And they got you tricked because they didn't even tell you. Only body on the planet talk about good pussy but niggas in America. Huh? Yeah, Mildred got some good pussy. Well, she's on her fourth husband. 3 of them niggas didn't think it was that good. What do you know about Mildred? This here. I was telling a friend of mine today, Chrysler was bankrupt. Remember when they had to borrow $1 billion from the government? And that 300, they ain't never had a car. A brother invented that. Huh? 2 of the most powerful magazines on this planet, Time and Newsweek, both of them run by black men. Huh? But they got you reduced to some crime in the street, niggas misbehaving, and you want to grab that. Chenault have always ran American Express, a brother. Avis Rent-A-Car, run by a brother. Out of your 8 top Fortune 500, 5 of them run by black folks. Huh? But they got you reduced down to sports. Or some jive entertainment. Go back and check in the history of the planet. When have an entertainer or athlete ever liberated anybody? What is that? Y'all know more about some old jive entertainers than you do about your own grandparents. Something wrong. So somewhere, that slave master, what's your name, brother? He saw him with an attitude because he saw him hit his mama. And that white boy went and got a whoop and beat him to death. While the rest of the black men stood by and looked. That's what fear do. So the strongest 2 forces in the history of America has always been the black woman and the black church. Black church is the only black institution right now that don't have to check with white folks to find out what time can they open up. And y'all can play all the games you want. Then they take that little punk Flip Wilson and give him a TV show berating the black woman and the black church. I've been here 75 years. I ain't never met no thing like that woman he's supposed to be, or I ain't never met no preacher like Leroy. And niggas run around talking about the black church. They don't do nothing with the money. The Vatican don't neither. You go to a Catholic church tomorrow and put some money. You think they opening up businesses for Catholic? That go to the Vatican. And whatever you can accuse them niggas of doing, they ain't never ripped off my little boys. Do you know what that? I send send you to church. A pedophile in the street hustle my children on their own. I don't send my children to a pedophile. I send them to the Catholic Church. And when the priest got through, it had the child thinking they did something wrong. That's why you notice that they never remember till they get real old. You ever seen that? You ain't never seen no 15-year-old boy say, yeah, Father O'Malley ripped me off. They old. Why? Because prayers work. Them old priests be ripping them boys off, and they be praying, God, I know what I'm doing ain't right. So I'm not asking you to forgive me, just fix it so they don't remember till they get real old. Huh? And it works. This guy walking down the street, he's 85 years old, with his wife, and start hollering, ah, ah, what's wrong, Milton? Father O'Malley ripped me off. When? In 1804. Somewhere. When you stop and understand your power. Huh? So this beautiful black woman, when they saw this evil nigger hating slave man gonna whoop her boy, she said, Master, let me whoop him for you. And she had a dilemma. Because the white boy slick. She knows she got to whoop him just 1 point barely stop from killing him, or the white man gonna do the job. That's where that expression come from. Boy, this gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. And mom, with her love for that black man, beat him. And she did such a good job, the white boy turned and left. And she picked him up and said, only as a mother can say, let me kiss you where you hurt. Huh? Father can't say that. Brother can't say that. Grandma can't say that. Let me kiss you where you hurt. And now we X amount of generations removed from slavery, and you niggas still whooping children? And proud of it? You better do the research. 98% of them thugs that's hardened criminals that misuse women got whoopings from your ass. My mama grabbed my ears when I was 9 years old. I said, bitch, you. She said, what you gonna call you a bitch? Where you hear that? I hear daddy call you that all the time. You don't pull his ears. I was here 2 weeks ago when that thug daddy of mine came home with that hoe in the car and came here and stole the rent money. We got the lights cut out. They threatened to put us out. Then 3 days later, I hear you and him in that room over there making strange sounds. I wish you would put your hands on me again. Honor your mother and father if you're honorable. Huh? If you honorable. Y'all got to stop playing all these old hand-me-down games. Huh? It was good for me. Well, nigga, show me your success. Where's your success? Huh? You working? Yeah, well, I don't even like talk people working. You cannot be successful with a job. What do you mean by that? Well, go out to the zoo. Y'all got a zoo here? Go to the zoo. The gorilla eat more food and one day than you eat in 6 months. Ain't never had a job. The elephant eat up some food. The elephant gets sick, go to the best animal hospital in the world. You get sick, you're going to take some Motrin. Huh? So my mama said she was upset because my brothers and sisters told her I never said the blessing. I thought saying the blessing was stupid. She said, why? I said, if I don't have no money tonight, Mama, I'm not going to die. If I don't eat tonight, I'm not going to die. See, what that got to do with you not saying the blessing? Well, if you put your hand over my nose and mouth for 20 minutes, I'll die. But you never taught me to thank God for oxygen. The most important thing on this planet is oxygen. I'll die if I don't get it. So why I want to thank God for some food, and you ain't never taught me to thank God for oxygen? Because when you think about oxygen and how important it is, then you figure out the whole piece. The whole piece. And then you understand God. And when you black folks learn to stop making God a pit bull, God ain't going to take care of nobody for you. What's your name, brother? So you put $1,000 in his bank. Got that? And he go to Europe, man. He on vacation. And you go there and write out a check for $1,500. What's going to happen? Going to bounce, right? But do they have to call him in Europe to tell him? It's already in place, right? Everything in this entire universe is already in place. Once you violate it, don't nobody in the big sky be looking at you. That's already the law. Huh? So these are games. Somewhere. Let me run this past you real quick, then we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. First, they got books out there, Africa's books there, mine's there, we'll sign them. But there's a lot of people out there. Go and just look and see, if it's something you want to buy. And then we'll be back here. Now, let me just finish this part with this. White supremacy works like this. Chavez has come over here, Hugo, and called the president a devil. Y'all remember that? So the white press ran to me and said, Mr. Gregory, Jose Chavez called the president a devil. What's your comment? I said, he must know him. But I want y'all to hear this, then you might understand white supremacy. This president called whole nations evil. Huh? He come over here and called one man the devil. He didn't call everybody in America the devil. And everybody went crazy. Because a white man is permitted to downgrade and belittle whole nations. And that's okay. But for a non-white man to call one person the devil, it's a game somewhere. So when you start understanding this whole game, how they manipulate. They got this little punk, and you niggas, y'all ain't even seen through this trick with this nigga. This little punk, he said, well, my mama's. And then they said, well, we're gonna build him up. We're going to take him to Africa. To one over there to Kenya. Did y'all see it on TV? Niggas was lined up from the airport to the village. I see something wrong with this. There's niggas in Gary right across the bridge from him that ain't never heard of him. How all these niggas know about him in Africa? And then he messed up. He started talking about corruption. Did y'all see that? Talk about how corrupt those niggas was. And them niggas grabbed him and said, nigga, you stay out of our business. You notice he from Chicago. You ain't never heard him talk about corruption in Chicago. They've been so corrupt in Chicago in the last 8 months, they arrested so many of them white politicians, they ran out of trench coats to put over their head. They ran out of handcuffs. They had to tie him up with rope. But he ain't never opened up his mouth about the corrupt daily machine. But they build this thing up like he's something special and then unleash this nigga on Africa. Let him go to Budapest. Huh? Let him go to Italy and talk about the mob. Huh? Let that nigga go to Afghanistan and talk about drugs. Huh? And so somewhere, y'all got to be real sharp, and that don't mean you got to get some education. You're already born with that God intelligence. And y'all need to get the words to the Negro National Anthem. I didn't say learn them. That's on you. But there's several things you need to read where it says, God of my what? Silent tears. Let me hear y'all say that. God of my what? Boy, them is the worst kind. Huh? God, see, crying is like a tea kettle that's about to blow up because it's too hot, and then you hear that steam, and you hear it, you run, turn it down. Tears don't mean sadness. You can win the lottery and cry over happiness. It's the silent tears, huh? The silent tears that my wife got cancer, my daughter, my son got cancer, my mother got it and no insurance, and the people at the job don't know I'm in this condition, so I can't tell nobody, so I cry inside. Silent tears. My daughter's pregnant, and the guy she's pregnant by is a drug addict and got her on drugs, and I can't share that, but because I got a PhD and my wife got a... my silent tears. Oh, y'all had it. God of my silent tears. Huh? That's the price we pay. For y'all stealing me. Put me on conditions that I had nothing to do with. I used to cry out loud, but you whooped me. I cried out loud. My mama said, boy, what's wrong with you? So I learned not to let you see my tears. But hip folks and folks that love you, they see it and they feel it. And they can just touch you, be it a man or a woman, and say, what's wrong? You okay, Milton? You okay, Mary? My silent tears. And let me leave you with this, and then we'll. There's another little section in that Negro National Anthem. Keep us forever in the what? Keep us forever in the path. We pray. Now, we'll give you this, then we're going to take a break, then I'm going to come back and we're going to have some fun. The next time it rains, look out the window, go get in it. Because if it's raining here now, in about every 10 minutes, trillions of little raindrops. Look and see if you can see. See, sometimes you got to look hard. It's like when you wake up in the morning and an alarm clock didn't wake you up. If you think alarm clock can wake you up, take that alarm clock down to the county morgue and let it go off and see how many jump off that slab. There's a little God intelligence, but sometimes we carried ourselves in a way where we lost the privilege to hear it, although it's there. In the morning, there's a little voice say, wake up, my child. I am God. And I will take care of all your problems today. And I don't need no help from you. Huh? Now, you can't have better instructions than that. This ain't no president. This ain't no president of the bank. This ain't no military. This is the boss that woke you up. and say, I will take care of all your problems today. And I don't need no help from you. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Huh? So when you look at that raindrop and see it fall, all raindrops, trillions every 5 minutes. All raindrops have one thing in common. They drop, they hit the ground, and they start working their way towards home. Home, the river, the stream, the ocean. That's all they function after they hit here. Button up your seatbelt now and hear this good. When you come out your mama's womb, your whole function is to get back home. All your PhDs, all y'all can read 50 languages, some can't read none. That ain't the issue. It's working your way back home. And only the black church have been hip enough to call funerals home going. Back home. And it ain't but one road. And that road don't give a damn about your leather jacket or your $4,000 boots or your $10 million car. It's one road. And that road, Queen Elizabeth, that make $360 million every 24 hours interest on her money, that wench is on the same road my welfare cousins on. All that other crap is games you play. Whatever you doing, whatever kind of house you got, how many children you got, nigga, all you doing is working your way back home. And when you get home, God don't say what college did you go to, were your bills paid, were you okay? That's the good news. It's that simple. The day you came out your mother's womb, before you start working back home, you had no greed, no hatred, no envy, no holdism, not looking for some pussy. You're on your way back home. None of that were you born with. The most redneck, nigger-hating, Ku Klux Klan crowd was not born disliking me. Huh? Hitler and all them maniac thugs was born the same as everybody else. And on the way back home, they picked up some stuff on the road. Huh? God didn't say he's going to give you a clean road. He's going to give you one road, and an intelligence and a kindness and a feeling and a love to know all you got to do is keep walking. Not got some conditions, so I'm going to sell some pussy to feed my children. No, baby. You're walking on the road. Death is better. Stanley and Livingston stopped their boat in some little country in Africa. They didn't know where they were, but they were brilliant. They had the scientists with them because they saw something in Africa. They didn't know what it was, and they were studying it. And they get off the boat, and they see these bones. And Stanley and Livingston said, these are different bones. So they sent back to the boat for the scientists, and they came out, and they said, well, why y'all so upset? He said, well, we never seen like. He said, these is African bones, about 200 years old. Say, why they look so different? These was the niggas that refused to get on the boat, and they killed them here. That's dignity you looking at. That's dignity. 200 years later, I look at these dead bones, and they tell a story of dignity. Huh? It's just a road. I remember when I was a little boy, I was 8 years old. My mama told me, say, I'm going to put your good suit on, and I'm going to take you someplace. So she dressed me up, and you know, and so she said, I'm going to get dressed. You sit on the porch. And I come, don't get dirty. So I sit on the, I'm 8 years old. I'm 8 years old sitting on the porch. 8 years old. oh, the boy, all my little buddies down there, they playing. And so I jumped off the porch and went down there and played with them. They was mad because I was so clean. They threw me in the mud. And I ran back up the steps and knocked on the door. And my mother said, look at you. Boy, you can't come in this house looking like that. That was my mama. She didn't say I couldn't get in, huh? She said, I sit you out there clean, huh? And you come back dirty. You can't get in this house looking like that. And so as we leave for the break, this is what I want to put on you. This road that you came out your mama's womb, you're walking on to get back home. I hope you don't carry yourself in a way that when you get there, the door open and you hear somebody in the big house say what I heard my mama say in the little house. Y'all can't come in here looking like that. Huh? Huh? All you hustlers, all you thugs, all you niggas that sit back and do all kind of stuff to try to make it in a white racist system, you ain't getting in that door looking like that. So have fun. Get all your Cadillacs, get all your women, get all your men, get all the fine stuff you want. And then something happened to me. I went around to the backyard and reached under the porch and pulled out them brushes I used to go. I took the white wash steps and stuff, and I brushed it off of me. And I kind of dampened the rag, and I got enough of it off. I went back. And she said, come on in here, boy. We're ready to go. Whatever you got on you tonight, you can get it off. Huh? That's the power you have. My mother could have got it off for me, but she didn't. She just said, you can't come in here looking like this. So y'all play all your games, hate all these evil, no good thug white folks, but you can't get in looking like that. Nothing to do but what you look like. You got big legs, big titty, little titty, big body. No. That door don't play that. I sent you here clean. That's what my mama said. I sent you out there clean, and look what you brought me back. The universe of God said, I brought you here clean, and look what you brought me back. I'm not going to burn you in hell. You just can't get in here looking like that. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
Could everyone please hold on for a second? Could everyone please hold on for a second? Give another big hand for Baba Dick Gregory. Y'all enjoying yourselves? Y'all ready for the next part, right? Y'all ready to get back? Well, first we're gonna have to talk for a second. I know y'all feeling Baba Dick Gregory, right? Everybody in here was real attentive. You know, Soul Survivors Nation is looking on bringing Baba Dick Gregory back, but he was bringing him to Philly on December the 9th. And as Baba Dick Gregory was saying that, you know, we can't look outside of our homes for this support, right? Y'all hearing me? Y'all feeling me? Now, I want to bring y'all with this. I know y'all heard it before. Faith without works is dead. Y'all heard that before? How many people in here heard faith without works is dead in your life? How many people in here ever got something and they didn't believe in it? They didn't believe in what they were struggling for. Anybody? So right now I want to bring up a donation. Please don't leave, y'all. We trying to support the nation here. So right now I'm gonna ask anybody if they have $100 donation so that we can continue to bring scholars like Baba Dick Gregory back to the forefront, back to cities like Tubman City, so we can go globally with this, so we can continue this movement. Anybody have a donation of $100 that they would like to put forth to support Soul Survivors Nation and our endeavors with bringing our scholars out? Anybody? $100 donation. But right here got 40. Anybody want to match it? Anybody want to match this brother right here is 40. Put up 60 so we can get 100. It's not free. As Baba Dick Gregory, everybody in here heard what he said in the beginning. He said in the beginning that these doors didn't just open up. The microphone didn't just set itself up. Y'all understand that? The flyers that y'all saw, the tickets that y'all got, it didn't just come out of nowhere. It took people, it took planning. It took a lot of work and effort. And the least you can do is get rid of some of them dead presidents in your pocket so that we can continue to help and support our community and support this nation. Everybody is supposed to be in here for some type of enlightenment, some type of encouragement, some type of, wanting to do something. How many people in here are just meeting to meet? Or are we meeting to build the nation? Are we meeting in here to build the nation? Are we in here just to feel good? Because we can't be in here just to feel good. For all that, you could have stayed home. We need y'all to come here because we are here for something bigger. Baba Dick Gregory didn't just come here to make y'all feel good. He came here because he is continuing his works. Sister right there. Anybody else got a donation of $100? Right there, Brother Sundiata. Give a big hand, y'all. We appreciate everybody in here who has supported. Everybody who bought a ticket. We appreciate everybody in here. So who wants to put together 250s so we can get 100? Here goes a brother right here. What's your name, bro? Brother Ralph. In the front. Everybody give a big hand, y'all. Give a big hand. How many people in here, if you did have $50 to put towards this 100, would do it? Everybody put your hand in the air if you feel like if you had the 50 in your pocket right now, that you would put it up. I mean, don't nobody cry when they want their shoes, when they want a new pair of Jordans, when they want to get the freshest styles. Don't nobody try to go to Foot Locker or go to Nordstrom's or anything like that and try to negotiate with the sales clerk. Look, I only got $50. I know the shoes is $120. You put your money up because that's what you want, right? And here we want freedom. And here we want to empower our community. So we need to continue to support each other. We got to support each other. So how many people in here have a donation of $20 or more? Don't feel limited. Sisters over here, sister, brother right here. The brothers right here, the baskets coming down. If you have a check, we take checks as long as they're good checks. Because we trying to continue this work. We're trying to make sure that we continue to move it. As Baba Dick Gregory was saying, your money isn't just going to the Vatican. You see your works. You see what's going on in the community. You see what Soul Survivors Nation and Reality Speaks has been doing for over 11 years now. We just had a Unified Die Conference. We continue in this work, and we need each and every one of you all support. $20 or more. That's what we're asking. That's nothing. You spend more than that on fast food. As Dr. Africa was saying, it's killing you. Right now, I could probably go in your refrigerators and find more things that you spent money on that are killing you. But right now, we are trying to uplift the nation. I'm asking for $20 or more. I'm going to pull out my pocket. I tutor middle school students. And I'm going to pull out $20 of my own money. This is how much I believe in my family and Soul Survivors Nation. It's $20. I don't have much. And all I'm asking is $20 or more. Now $10. $10 or more for everybody in here. $10 or more. That's what we asking from the family. That's what we asking for the support in the back. Don't forget the people in the back. We appreciate everything that you all are doing. Everybody who came in here tonight. We appreciate you all for coming here. But we have to continue these works, and freedom ain't free. Ain't nothing revolutionary about being broke. Ain't nothing revolutionary about being broke. We have to be able to continue to keep the lights on. BG&E is kicking our butts. But we ain't gonna pay. But we ain't gonna pay our people in here neither? Is that what we saying? Faith without works is dead. That means that whatever y'all heard today didn't mean nothing to you if you ain't putting up nothing. So right now I want everybody to reach into your pockets, pull out something green. I'll give y'all a second. Pull out something green. Everybody in here, pull out something green. I want you to put it in the air. If you don't have something green, look to your neighbor and ask them for something green out of their pocket. Everybody in here, we need y'all to put something green up in the air. And your black power fists, as if we supporting this community. Put something green. Come on, y'all. I know y'all got it. If you ain't got it, look to your neighbor. Look to your friend behind you, in front of you. We all a family in here. Something green. If it's $1, $5, if you want to slide that $100 bill in there now, it's okay. If you had a whole lot of ones in your pocket and you just ain't want to count them, it's okay. Put something green out. Now I want you to wave it. We're going to wave away this white supremacist mind state, as Dick Gregory was saying. We're going to wave it away. We want you to pass it into these buckets. This bucket's right here supporting our future. So right now we want to continue. You can drop it in now. You can drop it in later on if you just didn't want to, put yourself on the spot like that. It's okay. We understand. Some of us are doing better than others, so we got to continue to support each other. So we're going to go out here. We're going to support the vendors as well. We got food, we got books, we got jewelry out here. We want to make sure everybody has a good time. We're going to come back in 10 minutes so we can continue hearing Baba Dick Gregory. Everybody give a big hand for yourselves. Give a big hand for yourselves. Okay, and if you go out here to the right in this hallway over here, you want to get your book signed. Dr. Africa and Baba Dick Gregory will be signing books. All right? So I'll see y'all again in 10 minutes.
Provide information for inspiration for the purpose of elevation. Do we agree that black people need information? Black people definitely need to be elevated, right? Because the first place the revolution must take place is in our minds, right? In our minds. So our people out there, they doing what they know. They practicing basic European culture is what our people are practicing right now. So we got to teach them African-centered consciousness right now. What we want to do is, many of you bought some raffle tickets, right? So, you want to check your raffles. If your last number is ending in 056, check your raffle ticket. Okay, what's your name, sister? Miss Johnson? Okay, Miss Johnson, you win a book by either Dr. Africa or Baba Dick Gregory. Clap it up for sister. We'll get, which one you want? Okay, by Dick Gregory. The second one, if you lost that time, you got another chance. 023. Zero, 2, 3. Going once. Twice. 0, 2, 3. All right. 058. You got 023? Okay. All right. Congratulations. Clap it up for the brother. Then you get your choice of either book. Okay. All right. We get that to you before the end of the night. But let's get ready for part 2. Let's bring up our Baba Dick Gregory. Give it up. Give it up.
Thank you, babe. Okay, fine. Take that box with you. Thank you much. Let me again say we thank and praise God. And let's have another thanks for the folks that put this together, because it's information. Thank you. Let me say to those of you who have come here, whenever you go to a place like this, you owe it to the folks that didn't come to bring a tape recorder and tape or see to it that the brothers and sisters is taping and selling it. Because information, when you hear it one time, it don't mean anything. It's exciting when you hear it over and over and over, and then you see things. Dan Rather, who used to anchor the news on CBS, owns a farm with Donald Rumsfeld in New Mexico, so how can he give me fair news? NBC is owned by General Electric, and if you had General Electric stock, about 98% of your profits come from war materials. ABC is owned by Walt Disney, and all the manuals that the military use for the soldiers is printed by Walt Disney. So you don't have no choice but to find out outside ways, and I'm telling you, this thing is moving fast now, because they got a machine in here. How many of y'all have heard the story that Lincoln is nice, it's bop, 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 but he had no choice but to free the slaves because the machines was coming in and was going to pick the cotton? Huh? Well, they got machines. They got a machine can do brain surgery, a robot, and it's impossible for it to make a mistake. So here's a bad brain surgeon in America makes $6 million a year. In 5 or 6 years, they won't be able to get insurance. I was in Helsinki last year. If we was in Helsinki tonight and went to dinner, lunch, or breakfast, you don't see no humans. You walk into that restaurant and everything is taken care of by computer and machines. It cooks your food, takes your order, delivers you your drink, and this is where this is going. And if you into this whole thing with your thought pattern, you can feel they're getting ready to kill everybody. Those that they can kill. And so when you look and see where this thing is going, and I just thank God for the NAACP. When you think about the NAACP, been on this line for 97 years. Can you imagine what it's like now, what it had to be like 97 years ago? I mean, just think about that for a minute. I mean, they would kill you then and didn't even. Matter of fact, the people who were supposed to make the arrest was probably the ones doing the killing. And when you think about what this movement brought, you know, it's hard to believe. Close that door back there for me, will you, please? It's hard to believe that Dr. King, he wasn't born into no civil rights movement. Dr. King never got into the movement until Rosa Parks, and they came and got him and embarrassed him to get into the movement in 1956. He was killed in 1968. He did all that in 12 years. Huh? That's almost impossible. Huh? Just think about that. All over the world, everybody knows King in the movement. He was just here in that movement 12 years. Huh? And everything you see now that's happening happened out of that movement. And if you have a picture of Dr. King, like on Ebony or Jet magazine, about 200 years from now, that picture be worth over $1 million. The deaths We used to laugh at King. He had this old raggedy desk at SCLC. And sometimes he'd be in there sleep. That desk right now, some niggas done hid it. I know where it is. That desk right now is worth $30 million. Oh, raggedy desk. That's how this man is growing around the world. Huh? And so 200 years from now, it'd be hard for your children's children to believe that you was here and you don't know nothing about that movement. Huh? Your movement. Huh? And so when you stop and think about, I remember 45 years ago, I'm running down there in Mississippi with Stokely and Rap. And then in a little while, all the tricks is going to come out. Huh? That Eldridge Cleaver and the Black Panthers and blah, blah, blah. Eldridge Cleaver and Huey Newton wasn't nothing but government agents who they got them off the streets selling drugs. How many of y'all in here know that? Anybody know that? Huh? I mean, ask yourself a question. Who in their right mind would get on TV and say, kill the white racist pig police unless they wanted every white cop when he see a black man to take his gun out? That's human nature. And nobody saw through that because we were so busy wanting somebody to talk nasty to white folks. How many of y'all, you older folks, remember the Mau-Maus in Africa? Did any of y'all ever see the movies about the Mau-Maus? Oh, they was killing. The Mau-Maus ain't never killed over 3 white folks. The British intelligence put the Mau-Mau together and got that thug punk Jomo Kenyatta to front it for him. That's why your heart got to be pure. Oh, when niggas coming up talking that old crazy talk. And then they gonna decide who your heroes are. And the heroes is the thugs they got to trick you. Huh? Look at that famous picture of Malcolm X shot and the brother leaning over him. He was a New York undercover cop. And to this day, I will never know how Malcolm let this nigga be the head of his security. Huh? So when you stop and think about Thurgood Marshall was a government agent. And we had to get it under the Freedom of Information Act. And then when we confront the family with it, they said, well, he was working for the FBI. He's working for the FBI when niggas couldn't even belong. He wasn't an FBI agent, huh? And they said, well, he gave information to the FBI because he wanted to prove to the FBI there was no communists in the civil rights movement. But how many niggas died because of those reports he was sending in? And this is what I'm telling y'all now. You can't run out here with that game in your head because you setting yourself up for the next trick. Huh? Alex Haley ain't never wrote a book in his life. Alex Haley came out of naval intelligence. And the book Malcolm, and a bunch of lies on a page 122, they got me telling Malcolm about Elijah's women. He didn't write Roots. He didn't write Malcolm. The white boy, senior editor, Playboy magazine, Murray Fisher. Now, in the order of time, let me do this. If you remember when Alex Haley died, now remember, Malcolm, the book, Roots, the book, the TV, the movie, to this day, it'll do about $15 million a year royalty. Do any of y'all remember when Alex died, they had to auction off his farm to pay his bills? Huh? Don't you know if you got royalty money, the dumbest lawyer in the planet got enough sense to attach your royalties? And look, the reason I'm telling you this is once you get all that old craziness in your heart, they can come up and trick you. They can come up and run some game. I'm taking on this shit. We need to kill these white folks. And they put a little group together. That's what they did to them niggas down in Florida. Remember, we woke up one day and they busted all of them. They couldn't even afford to have a cell phone. And it was news all over the world. And you got to know this when your children come home talking all that old crazy talk, what they're going to do, what they're going to do. Please. Saddam Hussein have always worked for us. And if y'all are crazy enough to think that thing they got in jail is Saddam Hussein, you're a fool. Why would this man, who they told us and stole trillions of dollars, you don't have to know how brilliant he was, just the fact that what he was able to keep that old raggedy country together. Why would he stay there? I mean, are you crazy? He would stay there? And then when they caught him for 2 weeks, they showed him looking in his head. Y'all remember that? What were they looking for? Lice. Lice can't live in the desert. If you get lice in your head now, the doctor would tell you to wash your hair with hot water. Now, what do you have to do? Go to school? No, no, no. Just flush that crap out. Huh? Flush all that game out and be part of your liberation. Nelson Mandela walked out that jail because of us. Huh? But they had to take him back to jail. Any of y'all in the room know about that? Huh? You know? They had to take him back to release him. But I don't have to tell you that. You saw something with Nelson Mandela that wasn't right. When they forgave all them white folks that have been killing niggas for 100 years, went in there Soweto and just shot our children down in school like they was rabbits, and they forgave them, but this nigga couldn't forgive Winnie? And y'all didn't see through that? You don't need no genius. You don't need, this boy is so filthy that all you got to do is just focus for a second. And get rid of all your hate and your meanness and enjoy yourself. Huh? Enjoy yourself. Go to bed mad, wake up mad. Like, who cares? Like I said, when I'm going down there in Mississippi, I'm so sure I'm going to be killed. But the great thing now, I went anyway. Huh? You say, white folks say, well, Greg, what about your wife and family? What about them? I was in the military. Wasn't no war going on. I didn't have a wife or a family, but had I had a wife and a family and had been a war going on, and that white boy say, run up that hill, soldier, and take it, I'd have went up the hill. I wouldn't have said, what about my wife and family? And I can't believe you black men, a bunch of punks. You go all over the world killing for this cracker. And don't worry about your family. Then come home and won't liberate your mama. You got to be some kind of fool. Huh? And the reason we catching so much hell now is you remember a bunch of thugs and hoodlums. What's a thug? Cutthroat. Y'all heard that expression before? Well, so-and-so cutthroat. Don't mean actually taking a knife. It means working against you. Thug, assassin, or assassin helper. So y'all can sit up in here with all your black stuff. I saw so much black stuff out there, I thought I was in Africa. But I can walk to your neighborhood tonight or tomorrow, and little punk nigger dope pushers with no gun is standing on the corner in your community selling dope, and you don't know you a thug. Nobody in the world would let that happen. The Italians, mafia that bring it in, the CIA that bring it in, won't let you stand on their corner. And then it get worse than just the dope being sold. Grandma got to go past them niggas to go get her prescription filled. Y'all hear me, listen to me. Grandchildren got to walk past them and got to peacefully coexist. Grandma speaking to a thug because she got to peacefully coexist to walk there, because you punks that'll go all over the world got children in Iraq now, but your own neighborhood ain't safe for grandma, and you think you son of you ain't nothing but a thug and a hoodlum and a punk. And those of y'all that don't was too coward. You ran. You can't get away from it. Once you run, they know you're scared. There's something wrong. And y'all don't seem to know it. Just because you can yell at your lady or scream at your man and make your children go to bed when they get ready, what's that mean? You ain't free? Somewhere we can turn this thing around overnight. It's moving that fast, y'all. And I'll be honest with you, I'd rather go to church and listen to the most vulgar gangster rap in church than hear you niggas sing Amazing Grace. Do you know how filthy that song is? Do you know people all over the world laugh at you? And the sad part about it, most of you don't know John Newton wrote that song. How many of y'all know that? He was a drug, a slave trader that would make Hitler look like an altar boy. Came out of a house where his daddy was a preacher. So he knew about repentance, although he had denied the church. And then he got caught out on one of his pleasure boats. Got caught out on a pleasure boat. And the storm came up. Y'all know the story, someone? Make Katrina look like a picnic. And he fell on his knees and said, God, oh Lord, let me repent, forgive me, don't let me die. And the storm ceased. And he was so grateful, he wrote that song. And you niggas sitting up here talking about forgive a wretch like, you don't even know what a wretch is. He said, forgive a wretch like me. Can you imagine if that boy's mama would have been a whore and as notorious as he was, and God saved her, and she write a song talking about thank God for forgiving a hoe like me, and your black mama sitting up in church singing forgive a hoe like me. What kind of fools are y'all? Huh? I go all over the world. I go to China, check out the Christian community. Jesus looked Chinese. Go to Africa, India, Jesus look Indian. Go to Japan, go to Brazil, Jesus look Brazilian. Come back home to America and go in the black community to a black church, and Jesus is a white man, and you wonder what's wrong with your children. You nigga. Huh? Huh? Christ got 12 disciples. Christ born in a place where it ain't nothing but niggas. And he got 12 disciples. He didn't only pick European, he picked 11 Englishmen. Where names like that? Peter, Paul, Matthew. Where it come from over there? All 11 of them is white boys except the nigga that killed Christ. He an Arab Jew. Judah. And you put that crap down on your children and wonder why these niggas are so crazy? Huh? I go all over the world. The moon stays the same color. The sun stays the same color. If I went to China and the sun was yellow, then I'd expect me a black sun when I get back home. Huh? All these lies, Columbus discovered America. The punk got lost. How can you discover something that's already occupied? Where was the Indians? Huh? Let me say, see, I take it personal. If you can discover a country that's already occupied, then I can walk out here tonight and discover your car on the parking lot and take it. Shut up, get in the back seat and teach me Thanksgiving. Huh? Huh? One of the big problems I had with Reggie, that was at Harvard Yard when Bob Marley wanted me to do a concert with him. I told him I couldn't. I don't respect him. And then we met, and he's a beautiful brother, and we kind of ironed it out. But my problem with him was, nigga, how can you have one of the fine minds on the planet? All over the world, people know who you are, and you do a song praising buffalo soldiers, niggas. They were sent up in the plains to wipe out the buffalo, to starve the Indians to death, and you think them niggas was heroes? You gotta be some kind of fool, boy. And then you got these little punk thug niggas that come out your belly that you groom them up to be athletes like white folk groom cattle. And then let them play with the Washington Redskins. And our Indian brothers and sisters keep saying that's derogatory. You got your children going to high school and college named after Indians, but the Indian couldn't go there, or Indian couldn't be president of college, and out of all the suffering you've been through, you don't understand theirs? You know where the word redskin come from? The federal government passed a law and said a good Indian is a dead Indian, and we got a bounty on them. And then white folk killed so many Indians, the government said, wow, we ain't got no place to put all these bodies, so just bring in their heads. That's where the Indian head nickel is a symbol of. They brought in so many Indian heads, they said, we ain't got no place to put these heads. I tell you what, when y'all kill them, just bring in a little hair. And then white folks started scalping white folks. And then the government said, as of 12 o'clock tomorrow, the only hair we're going to pay for it got to have a little red skin hooked to it. That's where that word came from. And they got a damn, and them crackers and them niggas don't see nothing wrong with it. And y'all run around talking all that old red skin stuff. You pay for that one day. Or let me put it simple. They just sold the Redskins 3 years ago to some white boys in New York. They paid $800 million. I was hoping the Indians would take some of that casino money and outbid them for $900 million. And then change the name of the team to the nigger honkies. And you and white folks be acting a fool. Huh? Huh? We come a long ways. The sad part about it, most of y'all don't know that because the New York Times or the Baltimore Sun ain't going to tell you. But it's in here. And when you start walking that road right, you protected. Can't no dog bother you, no bear bother you. Because you are the one. Not this way. My mother never denied I was her child. She just said, you can't come in this house looking like that. And that's all we're talking about. Boy, Martin Luther King, I was there. My commitment was way before I met him. The worst day I ever had in my life. And some of y'all check this out with some of your older relatives. It was not in Mississippi. It was right here in this town. Any of y'all know the story of what happened to me at the jail? When I came here, all the penitentiaries in this state were segregated. I come here with a $5,000 gig, and some people got in touch with Mr. Gregory. They want to know, would you come over and entertain the inmates in the state penitentiary? I said, sure. So I go there, and I'm getting ready to walk out on stage, and Warden and I are talking, and I look out, I see all the black folks sitting over here, and the white people over here. So I said to the Warden, I said, why they not sit? He said, oh, Mr. Gregory, do you know all the state jails are segregated? I said, well, I don't work segregated audiences. Yeah, well, you know, they jail, no, you don't hear me. He said, we got a problem. All the inmates are sitting in their auditorium, right there, waiting for you. If you don't come out, there'll be a ride. I said, I don't mind coming out, but I'm going to ask them to integrate. Mr. Gregory, if you ask them to integrate, there'll be a ride. I said, wait a minute. If I don't work a segregated audience, there'll be a ride. And if I do work it, if I'm making them integrate, there'll be a ride. So I said, give me that mic. And I took the mic out on stage, and they clapped. Black woman, hey, Greg, hey, man. I said, shh. I said, I just finished talking to your warden, and your warden just told me that I didn't know the jail was segregated. And the warden told me if I didn't do the show, y'all would ride, and it'd be deaf. And said if I asked y'all to integrate, it would be a ride. I said, I got a wife and some children. And I never thought I wouldn't get back home to see them. But let me tell y'all something. If I don't do the show, that white boy said y'all gonna ride and kill folks. And if I ask you to integrate, which is the only way I do it, I said, let me make a deal with you. I'm going to ask you black folks and white folks to integrate this prison. But wait a minute, integrate this audience. But I'm going to come down and sit on the front row to die with you. And I went down. And they screamed and hollered and clapped, and they integrated. I got up and did the show, and the next day they integrated all the penitentiaries in this state. Huh? You start out with a principle, and you start out willing to make eternal sacrifice. That's what this thing is about. And that's how you can sit here comfortable now, because a handful of black folk and a handful of decent white folks say, kill me. I'm not going to tolerate no more of your craziness. Huh? And because of Dr. King, who died, and had it not been for him and his death, you couldn't go to Orlando, to Disneyland, because you wasn't accepted. And kings is the cause of you being able to go to Disneyland. And you black folks is so nasty and low down. You have been to Disneyland, but ain't never been to King's grave. And it's in the same direction. Huh? Hear me? You could stop off there, nigga, on the way down to take your damn children to see a rat. A rat. And you wonder what's wrong with them niggas? You. A rat. That you couldn't even get there without that man leaving his family. I was with Coretta right before she died. Ain't died from no cancer. She died from a broken heart. Huh? Them silent tears. Coretta was not only end up a vegetarian for the last 12 years, Reggie, she ate nothing but raw food, remember? I remember I met her in the hospital. She had 3 strokes, and I was at the hospital with her, and I said, she couldn't talk, and that was hard, because me and her used to like to talk. We'd laugh, and she loved to hear me make her laugh. I'm sitting in the hospital, and I see her eyes. And she never could see it without her makeup on. She put her stuff on. She's sitting there, can't move, can't talk, got her stuff on. So I got ready to leave. I leaned over to her and said, when you come out of here, man, you go and drink some whiskey, because whatever this stuff you doing, it ain't working. And I didn't know then it would be the last time I'd see her. And she raised them children by herself. Huh? Didn't want no other man, nobody around her. That's how she felt about those children. Huh? And everything opened up because of that. One day, the #1 tourist attraction in the world will be King's grave. King's grave. See, when you're dealing with hate, it takes time. You know. If me and you, brother, was standing outside of the Ford Theater when Lincoln got shot, and when they brought Lincoln's body out, if some blood would have splashed on your shirt and my shirt, and I went home and washed my shirt, and you kept your shirt from way back then, 1863, and today with DNA, your ancestors go down the basement and pull that shirt out, and with DNA they can prove that's Lincoln's blood. They ain't got a Rembrandt picture that could sell for as much as that shirt. Huh? See what time will do? The same folks that killed Christ, hey, let's kill him. And now they're looking for the robe that he wore. Well, you wasn't there with Christ, and if you was, you couldn't get a part of it. This is your movement. Huh? This is yours. And King and them, do you realize that that movement, 98% of everybody that led that movement had Reverend in front of their name before they had PhD? I was there. I didn't hear King talk about love when the cameras was on and they said, kill him, Uncle. See, I'll tell that. No. King wasn't like that. He really talked about forgiveness, huh? And I thought them niggas was crazy. Until I'm running down there in Mississippi, knowing I'm gonna die. And went anyway. And didn't die. Did I ever think then I could stand here tonight and tell you how right they was? Today, head of the Mississippi State Troopers, fast you got to get past the sister. That's what they knew about love and forgiveness. And then, when the Civil Rights Bill come through, they forgot to put for niggas only. And so everybody benefited. Huh? Let me tell you who you are. 40 years ago, a white woman couldn't fly a commercial airplane. 40 years ago, a white woman couldn't be a mechanic at the airport. 40 years ago, the only thing a white woman could do on an airplane in America was be a stewardess, and she had to look like something off the center page of Playboy magazine. Hear this movement, then you know who you are. 40 years ago, a black man couldn't fly an airplane commercially. 40 years ago, a black woman couldn't be a stewardess. Huh? And the only white woman to be a stewardess said it looked like something off the center page of Playboy magazine. And because of this movement, anytime y'all get on a plane today and see an old, short, fat, ugly white woman stewardess, we got that job for her. Not her white brother, or her white daddy, or her white husband, not that white boy that think he loved her so much. We liberated that nasty wench. And the wench ain't even said thanks. But my mama told me it ain't necessary to say thanks. When you say thanks, that's just good manners. This boy ain't never had good manners. A woman couldn't be a cop in America. And because of us, women head police departments, head homicide sections, head narcotics sections. That's us. That's who you are and ain't participating in it. And you think you gonna get through that door? Huh? And it don't bother me. I would let you in anyway, but I don't make the law. Huh? You're not coming in here looking like that. And all that old cute pretty shit you got on, that don't mean nothing when you get ready to walk through the big door. How long? How long? Somewhere, when you understand who you are, then they won't tell you all about personal responsibility. And I hear these ignorant niggas on TV talking about personal responsibility. We got to stop blaming the victim. And you know that sound good to some of you niggas? Because you crazy. Let me break down victim for you, and maybe you'll never do that no more. If we go back there and lock that door, and all the men leave, and all you women stay here, and we send some brothers in to take your purse, and all your jewelry, and then we leave. And we come back in here, and y'all just sitting quietly like it didn't happen, and niggas get up on stage and say, we're so glad y'all ain't stupid enough to blame the people that did it. We're glad you act like a good victim. You blame yourself. No, nigga, y'all took my stuff, and I'm gonna get it back, or we gonna rumble. I didn't tell y'all about personal responsibility. Hey, white boy, have I ever lynched anybody? Have I ever got a boat and went and stole some folks and brought them to work my farm? Have I ever sent your children to bad schools with teachers who ain't never been to school, just a certificate? I was there. St. Louis, Missouri. I went to a school that was 125 years old, been built for white folk for 500. When I got there, we had 8,000 students. Some of my classes had 130 students. By the time the teacher tried to check the roll, class was out. And I couldn't say nothing about it because my mama wasn't saying nothing about it. Personal responsibility? White boy said that you can't get married, boy. It was against the law. So me and her jumped over the broom. Who needs your law? I've been married 47 years, and some of y'all sitting in here and make my little shit look like child's play. personal responsibility? If they called a white person, woman or man, teaching you how to read and write, they killed them. And today, I like you got children, they ain't got a book at Harvard, Yale, or MIT, or Morehouse. My children can't read from front to back. It didn't work. Huh? And they tell me about personal responsibility. And that little thug, idiot, punk, Bill Cosby, I trained that boy. That boy become a trillionaire because of me. I'm the one that introduced that nigga that night when he went crazy. I don't worry about him. I know that nigga. I worry about y'all that thought that nigga was sounding good. Huh? That woman he was talking about, Jesus' mama qualified to be her. Mary couldn't read or write. Mary never been to school. Mary had one name. This nigga talking about name your children Tamika. No, y'all can laugh now, but there's some niggas in this room that thought he was making sense. And a whole lot of niggas in the civil rights movement, because that nigga had big bucks, would let him use their stage as a... That nigga still crazy enough now to go and defend that crap. Huh? The nigga crazy, he ain't mad at us. Look, that woman he was talking about, that's Clarence Thomas' mama. She couldn't read or write. She worked a hotel and a restaurant washing dishes to get this. And you can say what you want to say about Clarence Thomas, you'd be right. But that's the only nigga on Supreme Court was produced out of the belly of a woman that Cosby was talking about. Huh? Well, where's your children, Cosby? What are they doing? Huh? What did you ever do, nigga, but tell some jokes? Huh? And then you got mad because you made enough money. And NBC was for sale. And you say, I want to buy NBC. And you ran into white supremacy. What did that nigga say? General Elector said, no, that nigga, and they killed his son. And if they killed his son, they say, nigga, you can't do no more Jell-O commercials. Every time you turn on a channel, that nigga had white students sitting around eating Jell-O off that nigga's drawers. They loved it. And he can't get a tapioca commercial. Because the ones he thought loved him. Let me tell y'all something. That car his son was in, huh? If you get a flat, you push one button, and it jacks itself up and fills the tires up. Huh? What'd you say? Whoa. Yeah. You hear me? That's what my baby son, financial analyst for the city of New York. He can't tell them white folks how to spend $34 billion. They can't touch it till that nigga analyze it. And one day I'm in Paris. And, what was it? The Galata fight, Riddick Bowe Galata. Did y'all see that at Madison Square Garden? You remember when it broke into a riot? I'm sitting over there, man, looking, laughing. I said, damn, that looked like my son and cops beating up. So I called Leo. I said, he didn't have HBO. I said, baby, I swear to God, look like Yoey getting his ass whooped. She said, Greg, where you see that? I said, on HBO. So she just a minute, somebody's calling. And she said, yeah, one of his buddies that went to Phillips Academy with him, he's in Tokyo. He said he saw Yoey getting, Greg, can you get out of Paris tonight? Me? No, I ain't coming out of Paris. What do you mean? Oh, he can handle himself. Your daughter is the lead prosecutor in Brooklyn. Let her go sneak over there and check them out. Well, that's when we know both my sons was arrested. Now, I'll be honest, I got one boy. Whatever the police said that nigga did, he probably did. So we don't even, you know. When that nigga leave, we just say, got bail money? If not, you know, call your mother. Let me tell you something. My baby son got one of the bright minds on the planet. He determined the police's budget. When they saw him that night, they didn't see this, they saw nigger. So y'all play all your little games you want. Think you can put the right outfit on, the right hairdo, talk the right way. In this country, you're a nigger. And Condoleezza Rice proved that. She had more PhDs than the president's whole cabinet. They call that wench Condi. But they never called Janet Reno Janny. They never called Madeleine Albright Maddie. And Henry Kissinger's a thug. They got a murder warrant out for him in the Hague court. That's why he can't leave this country. He'd be arrested. But they call him Dr. Henry Kissinger. They call her Condi. They got a soda pop they call Dr. Pepper. And it's darker than her. And you better ask for it by its full title. You go to the store tonight and say, give me one of them peppers. They give you a chili pepper. I know some of y'all know. How many of y'all about 4 months ago saw when Connie was on TV and slipped and referred to the president as her husband? How many of y'all? Yeah, let me raise your hand. Yeah. Yeah, you said, yeah. The British papers went crazy. We should have our wife go crazy, man. Laura caught them in the White House. She ain't with him now. They separated. She lives in the, what'd you say? Mayfield. Who said that? Yeah, the Mayfield Hotel. But they'll leave. They'll get on the plane together. One thing about the sisters, all sisters got attitude. They said, well, look, you would like for you and your husband to go, oh, I ain't going nowhere, that nigga. Take that black bitch. Yeah. Oh, no, white folks are funny. They said, no, I just, and they'll defend each other. Oh, Jack the Ripper's mama said, no, Jackie just got in with a bad crowd. He's an altar boy. No, we knew he was playing with knives when he was a little boy, but he'd never do that. And so the guy said, well, thank you very much, Miss Ripper. But the white daddy told him point blank, that was my boy. Them hoes better be glad it was a foggy night. He'd have killed them all. So I say to you, the same energy See, I have 10 children, so I don't never talk when babies be talking because they sensitive. They might be smelling smoke. You know? See, babies got a lot of sense. You sit there and smell smoke, you say, I smell something like smoke. When have you ever smelled something like smoke that wasn't smoke? And babies, they be moving their little fingers. You see how they move their fingers? I look at that and when they start, give me some lottery numbers. I was there, and what changed this whole country and the planet was this ordinary black folks like you. I was there. I ain't talking about something I read in a book, huh? And if you could be at one of them rallies or look at those rallies, they look just like you, huh? Except they weren't afraid, and those that were afraid was willing to die. And y'all live in this town here with that vicious John Hopkins down the street that's using y'all as a laboratory, and you niggas don't see that. 96% of black folks in Baltimore got syphilis or gonorrhea. And y'all don't see it. That's that nasty hospital down there doing the same thing Hitler did with the Jews. black men in Baltimore have the highest drug addiction of any black men in America. Bigger than New York, Chicago, LA, and you never say, how can a little town like, what are y'all doing? And then a black woman did something that most of y'all is too thuggish and ungodly to do. You was with me that day we went to the funeral, remember, of the black woman. They went out and told them dope pushers, you can't sell dope on this corner. I'm a poor black woman. I don't have the money to buy a new house. I got to raise my children here. And the nigga came by that night and threw a firebomb in the house, but it didn't kill her. They arrested that nigga, and 2 weeks later, he threw it in a white woman's house. He'd have been on his way to the electric chair. 2 weeks later, he came back to that same house, threw it in there, and burned her up and her babies. And y'all can still live in a town without being outraged. And then they had the funeral. And I came back from Europe. You picked me up. And we went to the funeral. You know what it's like to be walking up the hill on your way to a church and see 6 coffins, 6 hearses. Because at that time her husband hadn't died. And then to walk into church and see her and them little tots there. And y'all wasn't there. But you'll go see some thug-ass movie called Barbershop with that heathen, low-down dog, Cedric the Entertainer, called Martin Luther King a whore, and said Rosa Parks didn't do nothing. She was just too tired to move her big black ass. And you niggas started. But had that nigga said that about Jackie Kennedy, who was a hoe, she was Bobby's girl before she married Jack, a slut hoe. Had he said it about Queen Elizabeth, that nigga be dead now. But you don't see nothing wrong with it. And the only reason that punk thug and the rest of them can be in Hollywood and do their movies is because of us. Not because of their mama or them niggas was smart. And y'all kept going to see the movie. Them white folks made Michael Jackson take out. Do you feel funny living in a country where they put more value on white life than black life? Huh? So how long? And so I say to you tonight, it's really easy. You're going to have some bad moments, and all you got to do is be honest. Huh? My oldest son, now this nigga is, were you in Shreveport with me? We in Shreveport run them drug dealers off, man. You ain't never seen nothing like Shreveport. You know, once the FBI comes up and bring me a message that one of the drug pushers' sons had just broke out of jail and was coming down to assassinate me. And they asked us to cancel the march. We said, we can't. You the FBI, go catch him. And we walking down the street, little children, women, huh? What a day. And my old punky son, this nigga back in the back line, my wife, when they was arresting so fast, I called my wife and said, baby, you got to send me some children. And she said, well, is it safe down? No, it ain't safe. Send a couple of niggas you don't like. There's a possibility they ain't coming back. So we marching, Father Clemens, huh? And we marching, and my son back in the back playing. I'm marching, I'm thinking about if the bullet hit me, you trying to looking at the rooftops. You know, if the bullet hit me, will it hit me in the head? Will I die quick? Will I be paralyzed? And then all at once I feel something over next to me, and it's this old trifling son of mine. Hey, Dad, I thought I'd come up here to have the right to die with you today. Boy, you know what that's like to hear your child, huh? Say, every day, Dad, I played in this line. But it just dawned on me as we was marching, they gonna kill you today. And I just want the right to be up here with you. Maybe I can take the shot. And we shut it down. Down. You can't get no blacker than him. He can touch your head and know what part of Cyrus. Well, I ain't gonna get into that tonight. That star where we came from, he can know what part you came from. That's my oldest boy, Gregory. He called me a month ago, cracked out in Detroit. Want me to help him. I said, I can't, man. I ain't never smoked a reefer. Huh? You want to know about chasing pussy? You want to know about drinking? You want to know about talking swift? I can't help you, boy. I know nothing about what you hooked to. I'm your daddy, but if you had a brain tumor, nigga, I don't qualify to cut your head open. And you black folks better start understanding, just because you know me or know them, you better know your limitations. Huh? And don't call your mama, she ain't never drank a beer. Dad, what must I do? Well, I would tell you to be a Muslim, but Farrakhan's oldest son's cracked out. What am I gonna do? Well, let me see, son, the stuff you taking is not even FDA approved. You know, and the stuff they approve will kill you. Huh? So I can't help you, but I know that you taking something that ain't even FBI approved. You stand on a corner and let some thug criminal with dirty hand and spirit put something in your hand and you swallow it in your body. I can't help you, man. There's something going on inside of you that I don't qualify. What was I do, Dad? They ran me out the crack house because I couldn't pay them. They looking for me. Well, all your brothers and sisters are successful, but not one of them would send you no money. This nigga got so wiped out, he went in his own house and sold his TV. He didn't know. He running out there with his own TV. Now, you can't get no more drugged out than that, right? He get halfway downstairs and say, well, this is my TV. Damn, am I home? Huh? So you know what I did? I kept praying for him. Two PhDs. He called my wife and said, I just got the message about your son. We're trying to locate him, but they tell us he's just in the street somewhere. He said, Miss Gregory, tell your husband that whenever y'all hear from him, whatever time, day or night, call my house and we'll go get him. And then I called him and thanked him. He said, no, wait a minute. 53 years ago, I got a track scholarship to Southern Illinois University where you graduated, and I was so good and you was the boss. And they thought so much of me, they gave me your uniform. 53 years ago, I wore your uniform. And now 53 years later, you call me 2 PhDs, vice president at the university. And let me tell you who you called. I've been cracked out until 2 years ago. So when we get that boy, he can't lie to me. He can't tell me everything you could tell a person. I told him. What a blessing, huh? Well, just leave it alone. If you don't qualify to do it, don't do it. But there's somebody out in the community that know how to do it. Somebody that will be honest with you. That's all. And all you do is at home is carry yourself in a way. Don't be angry and bitter and nasty with people. It don't work. And so, Clinton got a younger brother. Bush got a younger brother named Marvin. How many of y'all know he got a younger brother named Marvin? September the 11th, Marvin Bush owned the company that was in charge of security for the World Trade Building. And the Baltimore Sun ain't told you that? New York Times haven't told you that? Huh? The game, so let me say this to you tonight. Thank you. Katrina. How many of y'all ever heard of a system called HARP? You know we manufacture earthquakes. When was I in Alaska? What, 2 weeks ago? That's where the microwave is, up in Katrina, Alaska, where they manufacture earthquakes, tornadoes, and y'all niggas sitting around talking about God's gonna get it. God ain't done nothing. Huh? And all that stuff that was going on, that was United States military that was doing it. They call them Blackwater. If you in the military, they'll give you $400,000 to get out tonight, send you to North Carolina, give you no further $400,000 to train you to be a mercenary. Then you send you back, because a mercenary do not come under the military code of justice. And they had 1,500 of them thugs in New Orleans before Katrina. And Donald Trump had gone in the Ninth Ward 6 months before and bought up a lot of property. And they told y'all them niggas was poor and y'all bought into that. 85% of everybody lived in the Ninth Ward owned their own home, and 80% of them was paid for. When did that get to be poverty, nigga? Because NBC told you? Huh? And so tonight, I say thanks to the brothers and the sisters that have worked to put this information together for you. Now let me leave you with this. Black folks in America is 12% of America's population. As we sit here now, 87% of everybody in America that should be on kidney dialysis machines is black folks. Don't that bother you? They don't have no kidney dialysis machines in all of Africa Too poor? No, they don't need them. Huh? You know what blows your kidneys out? Huh? Anger, fear, paranoia. You know what cools your kidneys out? Awareness and gentleness. Huh? Not no prescription. Huh? That's what changes that around. Somewhere. Your liver handles 1,000 functions. 90% of black folks and 80% of white folks in America that die from cirrhosis of the liver ain't never had a drink of alcohol in their life. Huh? Cirrhosis of the liver, and what kills you, your liver, is depression, anger, rage, hating white folks, hating niggas, hating that. You ain't doing nothing but killing yourself. That's why them old Baptist ministers was saying it's about love, not about hate, and you just thought they was punks. Huh? What changes my kidneys? Kindness. Huh? Especially you black men think to be kindness don't show manhood. Kindness cleans your liver out. Huh? Balance. Huh? Balance. Huh? That's all you have to go through all them old changes. And your lungs. Huh? There's more people die in America every day from lung cancer, from grief, than smoking cigarettes. Huh? Grief. Grief that my wife died, grief that my husband died, grief that I lost my woman, grief that my... Grief, that shows some respect for the dead. Damn the dead, them niggas dead. So busy trying to learn how to die with dignity, you forget how to live with dignity. Huh? And so, tonight, we say that we've come a long ways. Not just from some punk in the street, somebody that was out there running for my life. Hearing black folks and a handful of white folks that were willing to die. And so tonight I say to you, you can't make a difference. They put AIDS in the condoms, and then they tell you about safe sex. They put AIDS in the drug needle, then they want to go to the park and get some drug addict. I said, if I was ever a drug addict, I'd take out an ad. I don't need free needles, I need free dope. And so, you wonder why your children are violent? Check out the steroids. And you old niggas sitting around talking about when we was their age, we didn't lock no doors. Because nigga, you didn't have nothing. I was there with you. I'm 75 years old. I always wanted to be old because I thought old black men were so cool. But today, I'll be honest with you. I wish I was back in high school. Time I pick up the paper, the teachers having sex with the students. Woo! Oh boy, if I had teachers like that, I'd have had a perfect attendance record. I never see my mama now. Boy, where you going out here on Christmas morning with them books? I'm going to school, mama. Why you going to school on Christmas Day? I'm getting a little behind in my class, mom. Is this thing moving? Did I ever think that white folks in America would ask a nigga like me to comment on white folk business? I came in the country 3 weeks ago and CNN, Mr. Gregory, CNN, you think we'll ever catch Bin Laden? We? I ain't looking for him. I'm still trying to find out who my daddy is. Bob Hope died at 104. AP called me. Bob Hope died at 3 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock, AP said, Mr. Gregory, sorry to wake you up, but Bob Hope died today. Want to get a comment from you. I thought he'd been dead. What'd you say? Oh, no, I'm sorry. My comment is tell Bob Hope's family that they should get on a plane and fly to Chicago and go to Jesse Jackson's push meeting and fall on their knees and kiss his feet. Because for 40 years, Jesse been running around hollering, keep hope alive. And it worked. I saw Jesse yesterday ask me, say, now Bob Hope dead, how about me praying for you? I said, how you gonna say keep dick alive, nigga? Black men, 4% of America's population. 83% of prostate cancer death is black men in America. That don't bother you? And then I got to go to a white racist system and say, boss, well, how come I got so much prostate? And then they say, well, you know, you niggas, y'all don't go get examined. Is what they tell you? You don't go get examined. I said, well, wait a minute, boss. I go to Africa, and I can go 5,000 miles, don't see a clinic. Where them niggas getting examined? They don't have it. What'd you say, nigga? Wait a minute, boss. I go up on the hillbillies. You know, I go talk to them. You know, trailer trash, third-grade dropouts, can't read, can't write. They don't have it. You tell me, them crackers getting examined? Where do you think it come from? Well, you lied. You told me it wasn't my brain, you told me it was my joint. So I violated God trying to get my manhood through my dick. And I burn it up. That's a violation of God. I want to make you holler, get it that shut up. Huh? I was born a man. And how you let a white racist thug reduce you to a boy, and then you got to prove to your woman you a damn man. That's a violation. You can't come in here looking like that. Huh? Black woman, you are 6% of America's population, and 98% of fibroid tumors is you? Well, don't say it's a black thing, because African women don't have it. Huh? What's that about? Huh? Then they'll trick you like they told me. They said, Greg, so other black men will see you, you need to come in here and get a prostate exam. And I really didn't want to do it. I was trying to do it for you niggas. Lady, you know how they do prostate? They put a rubber glove on, and then I bent over, and I look around, this doctor got both his hands on my shoulder. Let me say this, I'm gonna get out of here. There's a whole lot of stuff you can blame on white folks, and you'd be right. But that black face, you can't blame on white folks. Ku Klux Klan didn't give you that, God gave you that. Them lips, God gave you. That nappy hair, God gave you. And I'm not stupid enough to believe that there's some people in this room or been in this room that if your son or daughter or grandson or daughter brought a nigger home as dark as me, you'd have a problem, but don't nobody want to discuss that. God made them black. not a white racist system. One of the few things we can't blame this nasty cracker system for is my nose. But can you be honest enough to look in the mirror and see you with white folks that told you was ugly, and be honest enough to look at God and say, God, how could you mess me up like that? How could you give me nappy hair? How could you give me these lips? How could you give me this? And I go all over the world, and I go to China, and I never see no hair on nobody's head but Chinese hair. I go to Italy, Italians don't put no other kind of hair on their head. I go to Germany, as nasty and foul as that country have been. All the German hair, what they was born with, is what you see. Then I come back to America, you niggas got on this wig, that wig, and got nerve enough to think you cute rather than know you crazy. Huh? Now, I don't have no problem with you doing it. Just don't blame it on nobody but God and chastise God, nigga. Because if some white folks at Johns Hopkins found out tomorrow that nappy hair cure cancer, the hottest selling product, be kink quick. Y'all be walking around with locks on your cap. All at once, this is valuable, more valuable than diamonds. White folks want niggas living next to them so they can be secure of cancer. And that's the only problem I have, is you're not blaming the right people, and you're not admitting that I'm ashamed of what God gave me, so I want my hair to look like the slave master's wife. Huh? You ain't fit to raise children. I want my hair. Can you imagine them Jews over there wanting to look like the Germans? And they did. They was cutting their little concentration uniforms so it looked like Nazi outfits. And then I didn't know how much power you had until I used to get embarrassed with niggas with gold in their mouth. And I noticed 98% of the gold was black men. Dark complected, huh? Pimps and hustlers, huh? And they'd always be grinning. Old preacher be grinning. And then one day I'm reading some research and said when the Germans gassed the Jews, before they burned them, they took the gold out their mouth. And that's the first time I realized that wasn't a nigga thing. What it was is I hate your blackness so bad. In your subconscious, you know it. But you know I like diamonds and gold. So you took good teeth out and put something in your mouth that I liked, and you grinned, hoping I would see this before I saw your blackness. And the reason you didn't have to do it, because that black mother named you Precious Milk, Pearly May, Sapphire, Diamond, Ruby. Those aren't white names. That's the genius of a black woman. Huh? I'll name you something important. That's what we've been through. Why didn't black women have fibroid tumors 50 years ago? 100 years ago? You can't catch a fibroid. Huh? They said they go get their hair pressed. But now you don't get your hair pressed. They got chemicals that'll straighten out your hair more than a pressing iron, and we ain't put together is the chemicals in that hair product that goes to your brain, into your body, and God builds a glove to catch it. The medicine call it a fibroid. God call it a glove. Just like if you was playing baseball, that ball comes at you 100 miles an hour. You got a catcher's mitt. But your body don't know it's going to keep coming, and it keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And God say, before I'll let you live below the dignity that I gave you, nigga, I'll destroy you myself. Huh? I will destroy you. So what you need to do is go sit in the mirror. I ain't just talking to black women, black men. And sit there until you really see how beautiful you are. Until you can see your eyes through God's eyes. Niggas got dogs and they never tried to process their hair. Huh? Monkeys in the zoo, ain't nobody ever tried to straighten out their hair. Why you need it? Look, I'm not asking you to change. And I mean this. I just want you to know my oldest brother, that nigga couldn't stop smoking. Lung cancer, brain cancer, throat cancer, kidney, that took half that nigga's lungs out. Half of them. So I went to the hospital to see him, and I said, hey, bro, you always been a champ, man. Can't stop smoking, can't? No, man. You know that nigga talking? You got to die from something. I said, well, do me a favor. They say you got about 3 weeks. When you die, die like a champ. I'll be back to see you next week. I don't want to hear you screaming. Tell them don't give you no morphine, nigga. You let this nigga hating cracker sell you cigarettes that's gonna kill you, then ain't nobody around you when death hit but black folks trying to take care of you. So my sister say, you better come on back in here. He got about 3 days. I walked in, I stopped by and bought that nigga a carton of Cools. Went on in there and slipped it to him and said, they got this oxygen on you, so don't light it. When the doctors leave, pull that stuff out, man, and light up. And he did. He died like a champ. Huh? Okay, like a champ. It's that simple. That simple. And so y'all can leave here free. Huh? Free. Drop all your hatred. Learn to be happy on a job. You can turn that crap into, huh? You just there for a few minutes. You're too scared to quit. Huh? Go by and see the old folks and stop going by. Grandma, you need something. They don't need nothing. God take care of their needs. They get their wants on their own. Can you just go by one day just to visit? Can you just go by just to hang out all day? And shut up and let her tell you what went on 90 years ago. Before there was automobiles. Before there was airplanes. Before there was rockets. She was there. He was there. Let's go there. Stop arguing with them niggas about Jesus, nigga. You gonna argue with them niggas about Jesus and then go get you a reefer. Or a beer of 40 ounce. And let me leave you with this. You women that had menopause, I'm going to tell you this so you understand the young people and their violence. If you have menopause tonight for the first time, you get cold, huh? Chill, you get hot. Y'all, come on, y'all know, huh? That's a naturalistic God transition. That's a hormonal change going on in your body. And you look at him, you can be married to him 50 years and have an attitude. Huh? Dear, how you like this cobbler? I'm eating it, ain't I, nigga? Huh? But wait, you know what I'm saying? You yell at the grandchildren. Yell at your mama, your daddy. That's a natural hormonal change. And if that change can make you hostile, what do you think these hormones they're putting in the cattle, in the beef, and the chickens is doing to your children? Huh? If God made that hormonal change, what about this change these nigger-hating, white folks-hating crackers is injected into your food chain. And then you blame it on your children. Malt liquor is made by white beer companies but only sold in black neighborhoods because it got a thing in it called manganese, and once you get X amount of manganese, you'll kill your mama. Colonel Sanders' Kentucky Fried Chicken can't use the word chicken no more because they genetically engineer them. They grow them with no feet, no beaks, and no feathers. And you put that crap in young folks and wonder what's wrong with them. Huh? Get in touch with your spirit. Huh? Get in touch with your spirit. And so I leave you tonight and I say, lead poisoning will make you crazy, make you hostile, make you jump on your mama. Them lead pipes we got, not to mention the stuff they drop at night while we sleep. Huh? Make y'all think they spraying for mosquitoes. Huh? What's that mosquito they come over here, what they call it, the West Nile. Look, the West Nile. You know where the Nile is in Egypt. They say the mosquito came from Egypt to America. Say how? On a plane. Well, they ain't got no non-stop planes from Egypt to America. How come that mosquito didn't get off at the first stop? Huh? The number one cause of death in America is sleep deprivation. The number two cause of death in America is dehydration. And the number three cause of death in America is lack of physical fitness. All of it is free. All of it is gifts from God, but you don't have time. When God said all you got to do is like that water, hit and start working your way back home. So what is it you got other than that you can't find time? Well, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. Take care of your body. Try fasting, huh? People say, Greg, you've been fasting 40 years. What do your doctors think? My doctor's been dead 37 years. Try going a week without eating any animal product. Just try it. You tried everything else. Huh? Try it. Don't get involved with the word vegetarian. Just, you know. When I first became vegetarian, niggas couldn't even spell it. Started lecturing me. Nigga, what you doing for protein? I didn't know that nigga even knew what a protein was. But because of love and compassion, I said, well, look here, brother. You know there's a lot of protein in a steak. You're damn right, nigga. How come you don't eat it? Well, you know, cows don't eat steak. The meat you eat don't eat meat. Huh? So when you figure it out, you don't have to eat hair to grow hair, right? Huh? You don't have to eat kneecaps to grow kneecaps, right? You don't have to, oh, let me leave that one alone. Take care of your body. Stop yelling and screaming. Let your children yell and holler if they want to. I remember my wife came and told me, she said, how can I deal with them? They just in there. I said, well, wait a minute, let me show you. I said, all 10 of y'all, come here for a minute. Open up the refrigerator. Anything y'all see in there that y'all paid for, take it out and sit it next to you. What's this about? I buy the groceries in here. So if your mother say, stop doing something, I wouldn't stop if I was y'all. But next week I'm putting a lock on the refrigerator. Them niggas got too quiet. Huh? So leave here tonight and be in love with yourself. Leave here tonight on the way out. Just look around of the folks that's here and put them in your prayer. There's people come here tonight, got all kind of problems. There's some people here ain't got no problems. And you can be part of this family of just praying. You don't need to know their business. You just say that universal force help them. Those of y'all that don't know where the rent coming from or the school money coming from, the boss. Huh? The boss. That same God that if Hitler came here and sit there and Jesus sit there, both of them would get the same amount of oxygen. Just turn to that for us with kindness and love, and it works. I love you. Happy Thanksgiving. God bless you. Peace be with you.
Give it up for Brother Dick Gregory. Give it up. If you can hold for just 1 second so we can close out correctly. How many people here are interested in the DVD for this event here tonight? All right. The CD, the DVDs, you can get them on Tuesday. You can get them at 219 East 25th Street. You can get a flyer where our address, where many of you got your tickets from. You can get these DVDs. You can get them online probably by the end of next week. All right? Let's close out correctly, y'all. If you can hold your place, we're going to hold our black power fist in the air. We're going to close out with the Harambe's. Swahili means let's pull together. Let's all pull together as black people. We need to do that, right? All right? So we're going to pull down in unity. I mean, let's all pull together, right? Count of three. Count of three. We're going to go 7 times. The 7th time, we're going to hold it as long as we possibly can, all right? 1, 2, 3. Harambe! 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 Everybody give somebody some love. Turn to another black person and give them some love. Exchange the number.